We are flying into a very hot and humid Worldwide Technology Raceway. Make some noise, St. Louis!
We have a very tight kind of stop and go style course, and there's more crashes and drama than ever.
Castro rock solid. Shanahan lets his presence be felt. Adam LZ goes hard with that BMW. Oh! Holy cow! Great driving by two absolute weapons. Oh boy, there we go. Oh, buddy! Adam LZ gets up on the wall. 14-year-old Hiro Manoa, he's in the finals. Unbelievable. James the Machine Dean gets the victory unanimously. That means Hiro Manoa gets second place, the youngest ever to podium in Formula Drift history.
With all these young kids coming up, it's unbelievable. Drifting is here to stay, that's for sure.
The sun is setting. What a beautiful backdrop here. And it is Friday. That's right, TGIFD. We are in town and talking about the Crossroads Worldwide Technology Raceway Park, playing host to round 3 of the Link Engine Management PROSPEC Championship. We had our seating bracket yesterday, and it whittled it down to a 32-car field. Earlier today, there the Wizards. Look at these guys cranking some ultras, wearing the cap. That's right. We got a cold, frosty one there, and we got a hot, sweaty, and smoky one. Look at that. That young man is not impressed right now. Oh, man, look at that. Heck yeah, that... Man, Guy Fieri's lost a lot of weight. That guy looks awesome, man. Look at that brother right there. You look fantastic. Thanks for joining us here. We're getting ready for our top 16 driver introduction. Again, round 3, there are 4 total rounds, so every point matters. Yesterday, it was 3 points per win. Today, it is 10 points per win. 32 down to 16, 8-4, and we'll find out who wins. Just like Cole Richards most recently did in New Jersey, who's gonna get the victory here. I'm Jared Deanna. Joining me in the booth is Mr. Matt Sopa, and we are moments away from introducing you to our drivers. And first and foremost, you see the red, white, and blue. So if you could please stand and remove your hats. If they're Drift Wizard hats, caps, beanies, whatever you got, take them off and stand for our national anthem. There it is, and now we introduce you to our top 16 PROSPEC drivers. Starting with the first car parked down there at the beginning, and we're gonna take a look at him right now. His eyes are on the prize. Make some noise for Corey Talaska. Up next, one of 3 females here in the top 16. Make some noise, the one and only 42. It is Kelsey Rawlings. It's not 9 out of 9, it's not 10 out of 10, it's Chen out of Chen. That's right, it is Nate Chen. Moving on down the line, this guy's got 0 chills, he's got nasty habit, he's got an S chassis, carbon Kevlar. Make some noise for Brian Wells. A tried and true Corvette, a family man, a father, a husband, and he is ready to throw down Forest Town. Make some noise for Luis Lanz. Most recent winner from Naples, Florida. This young man won in New Jersey. Can he do it again? Back to back. It is the one, the only, Cole Richards. Up next, you know the signature color. She is loud and proud in that Fitment Industries BMW. It is Colette Davis. Up next, shooting from the hip. She saw the door, she saw the roof, and now she is seeing the top 16. One of 3 females in the Formula Drift ProSpec top 16. Team Hansen, it is Hard Candy Shelly Hansen. This gentleman, don't know how he's going to respond to this, but I'm excited. Doesn't know what to do with his hands. Don't know if he's at a Coldplay concert right now. Regardless, he always has a good time. The SRD Nissan Z. He's always having a good time. Mr. Cody Buchanan. Some more pink and blue for your diet. He is more human than human because it is Human Raheem. This gentleman's got the flames, he's got the kitties, he is the cat daddy. This gentleman's been making a lot of noise, literally and figuratively. The whiskers are out for this cat-loving, clutch-kicking gentleman named Jerry Johnson. Okay, running on down the line, the Steel It Race Treads, all new Z. From the East Coast, make some noise, Alex Jagger. Ayo Taxi, talking about the taxi garage. He's got Viper on the hood, he's got a taxi garage on the roof. Well, can't enter that vehicle, but he can enter the FCRX-7. Driving this vehicle, it is Ryan Kaufman. Well, we're gonna have some breakfast for dinner. It is smoke-filled, not jelly-filled. Optima Batteries Donut S Chassis. It is Adam Kappic. Up next, this BMW earned his spot into top 16. The roof isn't on fire. This gentleman's on fire. He is Trevor Root. Last but definitely not least, this gentleman in the Born.Ride car collection BMW makes some noise for the multiple ProSpec champion. It is Dmitry Brutzky. They're top 16 drivers. We've seen it. Again, 32, some great driving, 4 outside zones. The sun is setting, the lights are coming on here at Worldwide Technology Raceway Park. Matt Sopa, your thoughts as we go in. There is no bad battle in this top 16. Again, 3 of the 4 females, unfortunately, Amanda Sorensen, just like I would say 1 more minute longer would have been in there, but only allowed 5 minutes. But it's great to see, again, Kaufman, his first top 16. Great to see Jagger in the mix. Jerry Johnson making a lot of noise. Who else is standing out to you? Obviously Cole Richards, but who else?
Oh, we got Cody Buchanan in the mix. Luis Lanz is always kind of a, a little sleeper cell kind of driver, but like you said, the trend this weekend has been there's been 0 bad battles. They've been all exciting, and now the temperature's dropping. These guys are gonna have to make a few adjustments. So it's anybody's game. If they're taking any notes, I'm gonna go back to that Nate Chen transition, chasing into outer zone 4. If they can nail that, along with the rest of the course, of course, it's gonna be just sweet Christmas.
Oh, sweet Christmas. I mean, it's only July, buddy.
Exactly.
All right, so as we are Again, getting ready for our top 16. And we're going to have a special guest here up in the box. And it's all about, you know, giving the opportunity to young kids entering into motorsports or the automotive culture. And we're bringing in a special guest that is part of the Formula Drift family. And we're going to have some words with him and talk to my man, Woody. And everybody knows you as Woody, dude. So as you know, you got the logo, you got the hat, Formula Drift, the driven experience, but Accelerate as well. It's kind of this overarching program. How would you explain Accelerate, and how would you explain Formula Drift, the driven experience?
Well, our Accelerate program is based in LA. We're a nonprofit organization, and our goal with that program is to work with students 14 to 24-year-olds and get them into the shop and get them into the skill set of becoming a mechanic, technician, or just getting into the automotive industry in general. So that's our in LA program.
Yep.
That also kind of morphed into working with Formula Drift because we saw the excitement of being able to bring the students out to the track and getting them sparked.
And showing them it's not just about driving, it's not just about announcing. There's kind of the in-between from marketing, all these different facets, but obviously you want to get your hands dirty, and you guys are working with some fantastic people. But we've seen as many as how many people at some of these stops?
We've been actually growing this, so this is our 4th year, 2nd year as the official driven experience portion. So over the 4 years, we've had over close to 5,000 students go through the program. This year alone, we're on path to be able to bring out 2,000 out of all 8 rounds. With that, it's like I said, it's just exciting to be able to bring them out. One of the biggest ones we had this year was Long Beach.
Yep.
So, you know, Long Beach ended up, we had over 700.
Yeah.
I think I'm still trying to count exactly how many you had. It just kept like sneaking in.
Regardless, here it is, the eagerness of these kids, and you guys giving them kind of the platform, us giving us the platform. So thank you so much, Woody, for all you do for, again, educating, giving them the access, giving them the opportunity to kind of, no pun intended, create that spark so they can get on and hit the open road. Thank you, Woody.
Thank you. And just check out the website, the Formula Drift website, under Education tab on top, and you can actually get more information about it.
That's great. Yeah, again, there's the call to action. So check out formuladr.com, education, hit that if you're interested in coming out. So if you want to learn some more about it, here's a great piece.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
These are my race treads for when the road ends.
These are my race treads for shredding the slopes.
These are my race treads for setting the hook.
Racetreads.com. Tires for every adventure.
Link ECU, let's get it!
We got the spiciest K-Series built.
Supercharged Ford Eliminator engine.
Oh, good old SR20. Blink Monsoon is so rowdy.
Naturally aspirated, 1,000 horsepower, LS-based engine. And then we're going to add nitrous on top of it.
Running an S54 controlled by Link ECU. Link direct injection EcoBoost Fox body.
I actually put an F824 in it.
B58, E46, Link ECU.
No matter what engine you have, it's a stock K24 or it's a 1,000-wheel 2J. Link ECU all day.
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
Need a little help? We got help. Need some advice? We got advice. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Exceptional customer service. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. BC Forged Wheels, custom built per order, offering extensive design, finish, and machining options. Strength, style, and precision come standard. Track proven, street ready. BC Forged, proud sponsor of Formula Drift 2025.
Yes, sir, and children of all ages. This is Worldwide Technology Raceway. They have IndyCar, they got NASCAR, and they got Formula Drift. That's right, Friday, it's going down. Link Engine Management PROSPEC Championship, and here are your top 16 drivers. We started with over 32, whittled down 32, and now 16. Cole Richards, Huma Rahimi, Colette Davis versus Corey Talaska, Jerry Johnson versus Louis Lanz. Then you got that of Buchanan and Kaufman, and then rattle off that right-hand side there, Matt.
Yeah, we got Nate Chen up against Kappic, Jagger against Hansen, Brutzky against Rawlings, Brian Wills against Trevor Root. So take a look back at our top 32 highlights. We got
Cole Richards here as, again, our most recent winner, who went against Dempster. Eventually gets the victory, very soft-spoken. Colette Davis, she gets the advancement, and again, she was pushing really hard. You can see right there, the Fitment Industries BMW. And gentlemen, he might be a little awkward with his hands, but not behind the wheel.
Definitely not. That's our boy Cody Buchanan getting chased down by Cameron Sorensen.
Up next, a gentleman like we talk about, he's having a lot of fun. You saw him doing a little aura farming on the side of his 86, and that is Nate Chen, car number 4. He seems to be just firing on all cylinders, literally and figuratively. Most recently, he got second place in New Jersey, so a lot of momentum coming out of the East Coast. Then we got Shelly Hansen, who definitely made the highlight reel in New Jersey, but the car placement, just the precision and the humility. She's saying, you know, you learn something new every day. You got Dimitri Brutzky, and then like we're going to end that piece there with Amanda Sorensen, but we're going to get things started with Huma Rahimi and Cole Richards. What are your expectations here, Matt?
Well, I always kind of look at Rahimi as a little bit of a wild card, but if he can dial back that few percent, he can be a real weapon. So, yeah. Especially against Cole Richards, he's got a little bit of an uphill battle, if you will.
Yeah, Cole's got a lot of momentum. He talked about it very systematically with Lorette Nickel. Cole Richards initiates that first outside zone. He does drop a tire there, but that was just barely a tread. Now entering that second outside zone, you see that overhead shot there. Cole Richards brings it on in a ton of smoke, and Huma Rahimi just navigates through it, not affecting him at all. And this last outside zone brings it in. Cole all the way out to the course edge, well executed. Cole is absolutely on fire, definitely gaining some attention from us up here in the box.
Yeah, and also he drew a nice little canvas there for Rahimi to follow. He did a good job staying in his lane. Could use a little more proximity, but let's dive into it here as we look up the run up, and Cole do a little flick of the wrist here as Rahimi's right there behind him. Both gentlemen dropping a tire. Might have been, I couldn't tell which one, but definitely dirt was flying as Rahimi stays in the pocket, trying to reel that weapon of Cole Richards into outer zone 3, losing a little bit of ground there. Left foot braking for Cole Richards as he swings it into outer zone 4. Rahimi trying to gain some more proximity as they finish out the course there. Now, once we switch these roles, Richards is going to have to, I think, just do a little bit better than that in the chase position to kind of show himself shine here as Rahimi gets the clean air in that Turbo LS 370Z.
And there we are taking a look at Huma Rahimi. Look at the stats, look at the numbers.
Yeah, we got Huma Rahimi from Nashville, Tennessee, Cole Richards from Naples, Florida. 2 different chassis, similar horsepower, same method. So ready to fry some tires here.
All right, get the tire particulates up in the air, and we are ready. It's been an absolutely beautiful day today. I mean, to be honest, it has been hot, but the breeze has been blowing through. It clears out the smoke, and here goes Huma Rahimi out front. Talking about the cool breeze of fresh air. Huma Rahimi, Cole Richards, where's he at? There he is. Boom, pops out of the smoke. Catch an early flight home from San Diego, jumps out of smoke like a magic show into that third outside zone. Now bring it on into the fourth. Watch out for the hip. He goes over it, and Cole Richards cannot be shaken nor stirred. That's right.
That's what Richards needed to do in that chase position. And Raheem, in all honesty, he did a really wonderful job as well in that lead position. But let's break it down here. I feel like there was a few little nitpicky things in that lead position, but let's take a look as Justin Smash gives us his point of view here. It could have been a little deeper as we fast forward into outer zone 2. Look at those guys. That was not real time by you, but Cole Richards constantly putting the pressure on. I feel Raheem was entering and leaving the zones just a little late and soon compared to Richards' lead run, but great job on both parties. Let's take a look at that airforce.com replay again here as Raheem flicks it in there. Richards a little late to start, but does reel him in early. Raheem, again, leaving early. Richards getting caught in that smoke, but he's right there on the door. He does lose him for a little bit, but also Raheem does leave that outer zone 2 a little bit earlier than we'd like to see as they swing it around here. Cole Richards right there. He's really comfortable in that chase position, just scrubbing the paint off or the wrap, if you will, off of that 370Z in that transition into outer zone 4. Great job by Cole Richards. So it's close, but I have a feeling I know which way it's going to go.
This is a great way to start top 16. That was really good, very, indicative of what to expect. A great effort by Human Rahimi, but Cole Richards just has that little scotch of just that, what I would call X factor. So Cole Richards brings it, a lot of momentum, and overall just, he's one to watch here tonight. Taking a look at our judges here, Vernon Zvanveld. He just got his luggage, so happy for him. Looks like he got lost. Did he get his luggage yet?
No, you can give me his...
Not yet? Oh, okay.
Oh, well, I'll let you keep my shirt then.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, regardless, it's now your shirt. Vernon Zvanveld, regardless, join us for this round. He's splitting duties with Robin Ishida and Brian Eggert. And talking about Reese Marin, they are with us the entirety of the Formula Drift season, all 8 rounds. Colette Davis, Corey Talaska. So an all BMW battle, and Colette Davis picking up this car from a former FD driver, Jeff Donati. That's his old car, and Talaska just refining his E36 over and over. Love his personality, talented, his graphic designer, just definitely got a good head on his shoulders, good personality, and definitely loves his family. So here we go. Colette Davis ripping out of that start chicane, and there's the Fitment Industries BMW, puts it right in there. A lot of dirt being thrown up. That will be a deficit, but it should not hold her back, and it doesn't. Into outside zone 2, and now into outside zone 3. I felt like because she got a little rock and roll, a little rock and rumble through the gravel, she brings it through that last outside zone, sets it and forgets it. And like you said, how much that temperature drop, or with an indirect sun or no sun at all, on the pavement, it's going to affect things. How much? More grip, less grip? What are your thoughts?
It's always more grip when the track temperature drops, and so we got to factor that because these guys, before our top 32, do get a warm-up session. Now, going into top 16, there is no warm-up session, so they really got to kind of anticipate what the car's going to do, drive it harder with that extra grip, potentially. So Talaska here needed to put on the pressure here as Colette fills out that outer zone really well, and he falls behind also in outer zone 2 and doesn't quite make up the real estate as Colette does a really good job of pouring that smoke on through outer zone 3. Could have been a little snappier in outer zone 4, but does fill it well. Not a real risky lead run, but does check all the boxes as Talaska gives chase. He's still in the fight there, so he's going to have to put down a pretty killer lead run to kind of stand out, because I feel like Colette's really going to draw the pressure here.
Look at that. He has to put on the glasses so you don't see the laser in his eyes right now. The black sheep, that vehicle, just put it down, and now we're going to alternate the order with Corey Talaska and Colette Davis. Talaska will be out front, and Colette Davis in the chase position. You can see those lights illuminate. Once they extinguish, they leave the start line. Chase car can't leave, and now we can see those Type S momentum lights. So green means they're in a forward momentum. Red, you can see obviously coming to a halt. So you do the math. Here we go. Corey Talaska, that first outside zone. Good angle from him. Colette Davis pops out of smoke, not too thick, so she could navigate through that, cut through it. Now into this third outside zone. Good sweeping line from Talaska. You can see him get deeper and deeper in outside zone 3. Now transitioning that last outside zone. Talaska brings it in. Colette Davis comes up just a little bit short. She dives in on the inside. But again, I'm really liking this course. These 4 outside zones, it's all about fluidity, putting the car in the right place, and it might, let's be quite honest, right out of the gate, they're making it look really easy.
Yeah, having all outer zones like that really promotes really good tandems. So one takeaway here, I feel like Colette Davis was sacrificing a little angle for proximity, but let's break it down here. As Talaska does a really good job, doesn't drop a tire, gets a lot of angle through outer zone 1, does a good job transitioning here, and you can kind of see what I was talking about, Jared. Colette's got some decent proximity, but it's at a sacrifice of a little bit of line of angle. She's not all the way in outer zone 3 there. Talaska does a good job of flicking it in there. She does the same thing here in outer zone 4, a little handbrake there, trying to stay in frame, stay in the fight here and say, we got the truth serum now here. We'll take another look at this run as Talaska does a good straight up handbrake initiation, getting through outer zone 1 clean. And you can kind of see this more what I was talking about with Colette. Keeping the pressure on, but with a few little sacrifices here to keep that pressure on Talaska. Now, will that be overlooked? There's a lot of things to take away here. That's why one thing I'm glad I'm not a judge, because this could go either way for me, or even just do it again, make it tighter.
Okay, so scrutinizing the runs, taking a look on that overhead. And looks like one of the judges inputting his verdict there, but I believe the other judges are waiting for the BC Racing side by side.
That's fair.
Oh. Again, we're absolutely ripping. We had a beautiful halftime break, got to high five some of the fans and got their autograph signing. So let's take a look at the overhead.
Yeah, I feel like the lead runs were very similar in each camp. The only thing to take away was the dirt drop from Colette versus Talaska's. And you can see Talaska getting a little off course there in outer zone 2 in that chase, but he does keep his temperament. He's matching the angle a little better, but his proximity isn't there, where on the other hand, Davis is getting the proximity at the sacrifice of a lot of line and angle. So that's my takeaway from that, Jared. I feel like which is the lesser evil, so to speak, or which one's going to shine?
All right, so our judges analyzing the runs. And there it is. So kind of reverse with the names. Reese is there on the left of screen, Brian's in the middle, and Vernon is on the right, taking a look there. So again, Reese and Brian the entirety of the FD season, and Vernon and Robbie. Robbie, if you're watching, what's up? And, we'll see you soon. Nate Lewis tuning in, watching, drive safe. Got fans tuning in all across the globe. So thanks for watching. And the scores or the verdicts being inputted. Let's see. Talaska or Colette Davis. All right, slide them left for Colette Davis or right for Corey Talaska. One more time at Talaska and one more time. So it is a one more time. And Reese, throwing on your headset there. So I want to wrap out with you. One more time. I think there were mistakes on either side, but obviously one of it looked like Brian going with Talaska. Your reason for the OMT?
My reason for the OMT was that there was enough mistakes on both sides, but when we're looking through here, we do see we're going to see here Colette, when she goes into the lead, we do see a tire that's dropped, but we also see a tire that's dropped by Talaska going into outside zone 2 as well too. That in conjunction with all the other mistakes and the errors that we see throughout the battle, I ended up going with one more time, thinking we can both have it cleaned up. There was enough there to make it happen. So you can see Talaska, we saw a drop from her in the lead. Talaska right there drops a tire over in outside zone 2. And we're going through here. You can see the good proximity from Colette in some spots, and then you have a little lack of proximity from Talaska in other spots as well too. And I just kind of feel like there was just enough there for having to go at it again.
All right, well, appreciate the insight. Thank you so much. Again, it was 2-1. So Brian siding with that as little chimpanzee riding a surfboard, riding along with Cole Richards. Okay. That'd be a surfing ape, not a bathing ape. And let's take a look. We are seeing
Johnson and Lanz
and Johnson. And here we go out of the gate. Jerry Johnson leading and Lanz chasing him down. Now transitioning into that second outside zone. Johnson, the 97. Lanz, that Zex Corvette. Good proximity from Lanz. Johnson given an opportunity, like you said, that platform, that canvas, in order to have a good chase run. Oh, and Lanz, just as I say that, comes up short on the last outside zone 4.
Like I said, Jared, that's going to be one of the biggest deciding factors, or like where it separates a few of these drivers and how well they can chase into that outer zone 4. Because you really got to trust the driver, yet you really got to commit in that transition in the right spot. I wish you could hear that screaming V8 from Jerry Johnson's car here, but good job on both parties here, filling out the zone. Lanz staying in the picture, put on the pressure early on through outer zone 2 as Johnson gets a tire in outer zone 2 as he whips it around. Could have used a little more angle. You can hear that thing just revving to the moon as they get into outer zone 4, and Lanz a little late to the party here in outer zone 4, losing some line and proximity against Jerry Johnson. So let's give Louis Lanz the fresh air in that Corvette.
Yep.
See what that the Kitty Fury of Jerry Johnson.
The Kitty Fury, huh? So the whiskers are out, and he looks like he backs out.
Just using the tension.
Oh, just give that dude some catnip. Get him all hopped up. And here we go. Louis Lanz will lead. Jerry Johnson chasing him down. Let's see these lights go on. Full maximum out there on the start line. And here comes Lanz through that start chicane. See how he answers. Straight line approach. Boom, right into that first outside zone. Jerry Johnson, the flame nose. Now transitioning, look at that, well done by Johnson. The chase, he has to back off a little bit. It looks like might have been some contact, got a nose job there. And now through that third outside zone, transitioning to the last outside zone. Bang, he backs in that Corvette. No doubt that he dropped into that last outside zone, not leaving anything in the judges' hands, and definitely got involved.
Yeah, speaking of whiskers, it looks like one erupted from the nose of that Jerry Johnson BRZ 86, what have you. But kind of interesting things in the lead position I kind of want to highlight once we get to review that, as we see Colette here getting ready for there one more time. So Louis Lanz in the lead position here. Jerry giving chase as they enter outside zone 1. Jerry doing a great job putting the pressure on early. You can see he scrapes almost the taillights out of that Corvette and does kind of disrupt his chase run as he gets in, as Lanz gets into outer zone 3, sacrificing a little angle, pours on the smoke here, and you can see kind of disrupting the middle of outside zone 4. I kind of want to talk about that. You can almost see the brakes there. Maybe we can see it again. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like Louis Lanz kind of just lost a little momentum in outer zone 4 and disrupted the chase position of Jerry Johnson. But you can see that contact there. Now the toe strap is out like a little whisker. That is the kitty cat fury as Lanz gets out of outer zone 3. Jerry trying to make up some ground and some angle there, and you can maybe see, yeah, the green lights kind of just go down, but it does not a full decel. Visually, it looked like to me like there was a little bit there, but that's for the judges to ascertain themselves. So now Max is checking out the cars there. Let's see what the judges have to say.
Yeah, definitely racking their brain here. No verdicts being inputted here. Taking a look at the side-by-sides, and this is great. This is the caliber driving we're seeing. We've already seen, you know, the request of one more time on our previous battle. So really splitting hairs in this case. Got it. So again, for those fans that don't know, Jerry Johnson, our previous round, he was all black. So he added the flames. Not only did he add flames, he had his own cats on his roof. But he's a fun follow on social media. He has now requested for fans to send in their photos of cats, and they're on the roof.
I think about 3,000 of them.
Yeah, and some people sent in, they have other pet animals. I saw raccoons. I saw some dogs that identify as cats. I mean, there's a lot of felines up there. All right, let's take a look. Here is our overhead.
Yeah, I can see similar performance here on each side of the party. As you can see, Jerry Johnson putting on the pressure in outer zone 2, but that kind of disrupted him, where Lanz was sacrificing a little bit of the line there for that proximity in his chase position. Very similar also in the lead position. This is where it kind of differs, in my opinion, where Lanz might have had a little hiccup there, and they both kind of fell short of the chase position going into that outer zone 4 through the finish. So, you know, apples to apples. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another one more time. And take another look at the litter here that is on Jerry Johnson's roof. Good night. It's a lot of hairballs.
Yeah. Look at that is pretty awesome. Like I said, there's a raccoon over on the left, but
there's a human over there.
There is. His name is Catthew. All right, here we go. So there it is one more time, and actually, look at that. So looked like Reese Marin sided with Jerry Johnson. So another one more time, and this is where we are at. So forcing another one more time here. So only one winner of the past 3 battles.
Yeah, I think in every single battle we've had a side-by-side, if I'm not mistaken. So this, like you said, a testament to how close these battles have been and what we kind of anticipated.
Oh, you know, and I would say that the winner is there because of bringing that extra something. That was Cole Richards. That's why he's in the grade 8, and he's the most recent winner. Cody Buchanan and Ryan Kaufman, his first top 16 here in Formula Drift. So excited to see what he can do in his Taxi Garage FCRX7. But Cody Buchanan in his Nissan Z, he will lead first. Buchanan ball coming through the chicane, and let's see how he handles and approaches. So a little bit of feint entry into that first outside zone, and looks like Kaufman, he's Kaufman going and navigating through the smoke, and into the third outside zone. He's got good proximity. Buchanan all the way out there, almost tapping his back bumper in this last outside zone. Past the hump. Kaufman, look at that. Kaufman drops in. It looks like he's bashing that front end, and it sprays off like a confetti.
Man, that was after the finish, too.
Yep.
Not sure how they're going to, you know, whether or not, because like we said, they have to maintain drift and unwind after the finish line, but is it a moot point? I'm not sure. We'll find out later once we do. So look at this proximity right off the gate from Kaufman. He dives in there, but kind of loses traction there, but makes up for it in outer zone 2 as Buchanan just smooth as that cannonball coming out of that cannon as we get through outer zone 3. Could have pulled a little more angle into the car, but Kaufman here, great job anticipating that transition and sticks it to him all the way to the end. And even left some debris there on the track as they get through the finish line there. As we'll take another look here. Look at Kaufman coming out of the smoke. Great anticipation there. Does sacrifice a little bit of the position, but gains it back in there, tucking into that 350Z of Cody Buchanan as we check out the transition here. And I really liked what he did here. Buchanan did a great job of getting in there. So it is literally a photo finish a foot after. That collision was a foot after the finish line.
So it's kind of the unfortunate contact, being
the
aggressive.
First run,
yeah, first run, you saw Kaufman's right front end just grind into that front left, and that was a good push. You know, a lot of that fiberglass will fold. Some of them, you know, running what's the plastic bumpers as opposed, but not many of them. A lot of them running fiberglass.
Yeah, it's either like carbon Kevlar or ABS. I think you might be looking for.
Yeah, ABS. Thank you.
Yeah.
So waiting for that, and to find out the verdict. All right. And
are they going to run this? That'd be a real treat.
Yeah. But I believe I saw Cody Buchanan spotter come up here and say, hey, can we look at it? And I think maybe we will see. We're good to go. Thumbs up.
Gentleman's agreement, or it looks like maybe getting a shared 5. Shared 5.
Is the verdict there? All right, so we'll take a quick break. When we come back, some more Formula Drift action.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
These are my race treads for when the road ends.
These are my race treads for shredding the slopes.
These are my race treads for setting the hook.
Racetreads.com. Tires for every adventure.
Link ECU, let's get it! We got the spiciest K-Series built.
Supercharged Ford Eliminator engine.
Oh, good old SR20. Blink Monsoon is so rowdy.
Naturally aspirated, 1,000 horsepower, LS-based engine. And then we're going to add nitrous on top of it.
Running an S54 controlled by Link ECU. Link direct injection EcoBoost Fox body.
I actually put an FA24 in it.
B58, E46, Link ECU.
No matter what engine you have, it's stock K24 or it's a 1,000-wheel 2J, Link ECU all day.
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
Need a little help? We got help. Need some advice? We got advice. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Exceptional customer service. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
BC Forged Wheels. Custom built per order, offering extensive design, finish, and machining options. Strength, style, and precision come standard. Track proven, street ready. BC Forged, proud sponsor of Formula Drift 2025.
And we are, oh, my dude's doing a shoey. Come on, drink something out of it.
Do it, you won't.
Get weird, you won't. Kid, come on. Whose is that?
That's James Dean's, I think. Said 130 on there.
Did it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's sick. There's the Taxi Garage team of Kaufman working on it, and here comes Mr. Talaska, the one more time battle between him and Colette Davis. You see the Yellow Speed Racing, BMW, Wise Fabs on the corner. Sucker for a good E36.
Both 2Js.
Yeah.
It's one of those battles where like they got similar builds. You know, one chassis might be a little bit newer, but we got similar power plants, probably similar power levels. Just comes down to the drivers at that point.
Yep.
Spec tires, spec ECU. You know the game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And yes, ma'am. Colette Davis will be leading. Corey Talaska chasing her down. The one more time battle. Are we going to get a victor? Don't leave it in the judge's hands. We're talking about that X factor. Colette got involved with the dirt, kind of missing some outside zone. Talaska in the chase. Hits it, quits it out of that outside zone 1 into the number 2. They'll bring it on through the power alley into the second outside zone. Look at the angle. Colette threw more at it, progressively just more and more angle into outside zone 4. Ripping away in that last outside zone. Great driving by Colette Davis.
Yeah, that was a very good lead run. And Alaska, it fell apart for him a little bit there in the chase position, but let's break it down and see what we can find out on the replay. A little bit of a slow roll out of the chicane there. Talaska liked the aggressiveness here, but it kind of ended there as far as his proximity. Colette did leave that outer zone 1. She wasn't as deep as I'd like to see her in that zone, and also in 2, a little shallow. Talaska kind of staying in his lane, almost getting deeper in that zone as Colette does pour on the power through 3, and Talaska getting further out of the picture into 4, although filling those zones. He just needed that more aggression there in the chase position. Yeah, Davis was definitely dominant in that lead position, just showing the boys how it's done as they get through outer zone 3 and doing a great job transitioning into 4, accelerating after, or decelerating after the transition and pouring it back on appropriately into 4. So Talaska's gonna have to put on a heater of a leader to make it shine. As we take a look at Ryan Kaufman's team.
Yeah, Kaufman.
Getting ready for their one more time.
Good thing. Looks like just cosmetic. Yeah, that was no.
No, they haven't battled yet.
Yeah, it was the complimentary.
The second half.
Yeah, they both got hands in the car because of the contact between Buchanan and Kaufman.
It's been so many one more times and whatnot. It's hard to keep track. What do we got? Davis is a little late to the party.
Yeah, I am. We're seeing Colette Davis spotter up here in race control, and I believe she is debeated, and that would cause her to have to retire. But was it due to something? You know,
yeah,
I don't think there was contact. So
yeah, maybe we can get some close-up shots and ascertain what might have happened. I don't think she dropped here. If anything, my bets would be on 4. 2 was pretty shallow, unless it was just a low tire pressure situation. I don't think she got close enough to the wall for that to be an issue. Let's see, auto zone 4 whipping it in there. Not close there.
There's no contact.
She was up. See, she might have been that transition to the bank, which we told the drivers not to do, but that's of her own volition. So, being nighttime, it's really hard to tell with the darker wheels and the smoke being poured out of that E46 to kind of see where it fell apart. Maybe with the lack of smoke.
I think like you said, it's a transition going up the bank, and right there is the finish line, right?
Yeah,
so
shut it down.
Shut it down.
Would have been okay.
Continues on.
Boop. Bing. Oh, you can almost see that poof coming out of that right rear.
So
that's a bummer. We've been warning them. Fair. That's a stickler there.
Yeah, that's the first DB'd over 1.5 days of driving, and that's why we have said shut it down at that point. And we talk about, use the word truncated, which I think perfectly describes that last outside zone 4. So the yellow line, the cone, shut it down.
We'll unwind the car and, you know, save the roundy round track.
Okay, so we are finding out that she is allowed to get tires, both sides? Okay, so we are hearing that she is allowed to get new tires as well as Corey Talaska. So so it was up on the bank, so it was caused by that. So they have a 5-minute allotment, and Trey is there. He is in the pits now. He's got a clock that would come into play, and it will come into play now for these two drivers to put both of them, Talaska and Colette Davis, and Talaska can, if he chooses to do so, which would make sense because he'd have a second run, but maybe he doesn't have tires, so maybe he just salvages.
Yeah, that'll be in his favor to get fresh tires for his lead run. Then he can just drive that thing like no one's behind him without any fear and really throw it into where he needs to.
Okay, so no hands on it, and they're going proper. So hands on it, the jacket up, and this is something pretty, you know,
unusual,
remedial, which is basically just change out those rear tires. I would assume they'll do both backs, both rears.
Yeah.
Maybe not just one, but you can see right there. And throw on some fresh rubber.
The old switcheroo. Yeah.
Take a look. So yeah, it's no contact. And truth be told, great run by Colette. Just
absolutely
unfortunate after the finish line. So we're
slow down here. You can see the poof come out of the tire here, and as we get past the finish line.
And it's where the transition, where you hit the banked.
Yep. Poof.
No, it's right here.
Yeah, right. Oh, the fence. Right, right there. Yeah.
Yeah, just behind the fence. So it's the transition. D beads. So thank you for your patience, but so the finish line is there where the cone is, the yellow line, and here comes Colette just behind the fence.
To the right of that pole.
Bink. Yep. Yeah, you see it just shoots right. So D beads, and because of that, they'll both be able to change out their tires. And looks like it's already done.
Sweet. That'll be nice to get a fair fight.
So this is the second half. Speaking of like, it's just very kind of bouncing around here. So if you can recall, we had contact between Buchanan and Kaufman after the finish line as well. So a lot of things happening post the finish line.
Yeah, so as they warm up their tires, Kaufman is going to give his lead run against Buchanan. If you recall, he ran into, Kaufman ran into Buchanan and right literally at the finish line. So we gave him a shared fault, free competition timeouts to check over the car. There was no damage to Kaufman's car, as we heard from Lorette. And let's finally get to see the second half of this battle.
There's Kaufman, the Taxi Garage RX-7. Obviously the old body style, the FC as they call it, and the Nissan Z on the other side, Cody Buchanan. Again, the contact was made after the finish line. It doesn't affect. And just given that we're bouncing around, I'm sure the judges will request a replay so it can refresh their memory and refresh yours as well at home or in the building. Now here comes Kaufman, lights are on. And once they extinguish, boom, there we go. Brakes are off, full send. Come to this first outside zone, the Taxi Garage, sending it into that first outside zone. RX-7 now transitioning. Buchanan tucks in, good proximity. And look at Kaufman in his third outside zone. Brings it in, Buchanan, little separation there, but giving himself a little bit of distance to let Kaufman transition in front. Kaufman goes in the dirt as well, but that was after the finish line. So this post-finish line action is quite a spectacle here in Top 16.
Yeah, can we tell the spotters there's no bonus points for going up there and drifting after the finish line? So Kaufman did what he needed to do. It did he had a little mistakes at outer zone 4, but we'll get to that as Buchanan throws on, bettering the angle of Kaufman going through outside zone 1. Does a great transition here, staying in his lane in that chase pocket as Kaufman pours on the smoke of that GT radial as he zooms past outer zone 3, feeling it very well, does a great job of here anticipating the transition by Buchanan, but it does fall a little bit behind and kind of staying behind in that zone where Kaufman was a little shallow and pulled out of it a little early. So you can see the temperament of Cody just trying to snarl his way through there with that Z as we get through outer zone 2, keeping good pressure on that FC of Ryan Kaufman as we get through outer zone 3. He falls back a little bit, makes up for the course here in the transition. It was looking good, and then he kind of fell behind as they finished out outer zone 4, where Kaufman came out a little bit shallow. So battle's done now, Jared. Cars are a little beat up. no feelings hurt. Let's see the result.
Yeah, I think now absorbing, and we're going to take a look at that first battle with, yeah, we're going to see that BC Racing side by side. And
yeah,
here it is.
Here we go. You can see that flick, that Scandi flick of Buchanan. Now you can see the real big difference in that chase position between Kaufman and Buchanan. And Kaufman, he does reel Buchanan back in versus Cody was kind of put on the pressure, but then it slowly fell behind as we get through into outer zone 4. And you can see that pressure that Kaufman was putting on there in the entirety of outer zone 4 compared to Buchanan's chase in that outer zone 4 going through the finish. So now that we've been able to kind of catch up in our heads here, let's see if these judges can give us a good result.
Good for one, good, not so good for the other.
Right.
There's a verdict. Slide him left for Buchanan or right for Kaufman. It looks like Cody Buchanan gets it done. Buchanan moves on. Unfortunately, the Taxi Garage RX-7 and Ryan Kaufman do not advance on. But a good effort by Ryan Kaufman and his camp. And Buchanan unanimously gets the win and will advance on.
Boy, that was a lot of battles to get two in the top 8.
But it's like we have one more time and a half, and yeah, all that. So looks like Lanz was tapped by Jerry Johnson, felt okay, went to outside zone 4 and came in for that competition timeout. So yeah, so changing out that right rear, had that contact. So yeah,
it looked like it was towed out after that second run. So good on them. So now we got the second half of this battle between
the second half of the one more time between Talaska and Colette Davis. So not only do we have the one more time, but on that first portion of the battle, Colette Davis hit the bank, tire went flat. So because it was the transition of that, both have fresh rear tires, which could eventually, you know, we'll see. Talaska's got fresh meat hooks out back, and he's going to sink them on into this first outside zone. Talaska jumps in, Yellow Speed Racing. E36 now into the second outside zone. Colette Davis taking a very shallow line, straightening out. Talaska comes unwound just a little bit as he enters into the third outside zone. Now Colette Davis has great proximity. Oh, looks like Talaska might have tapped the wall or definitely got disrupted. That wall jumps out at you as it's definitely darker. The lights are on.
Yeah, you can kind of see the similarities. I was hoping that Colette would kind of capitalize on having this one more time where she would add more angle to the car in her chase position to not sacrifice that to get that proximity. But let's check this run out with Talaska getting that clean air in our Air Force replay. Little flick of the wrist as we get into outer zone 1. Colette, a little late to the party there, sacrificing the line, sacrificing the angle. Likewise again here, the transition is a little dodgy, as you might say, but Talaska doing a decent job, not much wavering. She does gain proximity there, but the transition, boom. I don't think there was contact between the cars themselves, but she did maintain proximity, and Talaska kept trucking forward as we take another look at this run. So
watch Talaska's transition here, and Colette was shallow, but it seemed that Talaska hung it out for quite a while before getting into the outside zone too.
Okay, you can see the smoke pouring. Yeah, I mean, maybe we can take another look at that and take another sneak peek on 4. Maybe. Hard to see with that
Talaska
smoke.
Definitely hit that back right on the wall.
Okay.
But after that, that might have impeded.
Yeah, a lot of unpack there for the judges to make their decision.
Colette's team looking on. We got 1 smile and no smile. So on the smile-o-meter, it's 1 out of 3.
Maybe, hopefully that's not the indication of what the judges are thinking for them.
Yeah, that you know, we'll see where they fare. Taking a look at the overhead once again.
Yeah. So you can see both similar initiations here, and you can see the difference in they're both kind of shallow in the chase position. Talaska losing a little bit of ground where Colette also did too, but was also trying to make it up for by sacrificing some angle, where Talaska kind of stayed true to his form as he didn't sacrifice as much as his line and angle to gain proximity again, where Colette did that in their first battle before this one more time. So yeah, as the temperatures continue to drop here, I'm sure these guys are gonna have to drive harder. The grip levels are going up. It's only gonna get harder as we whittle these top 16 down. So
yeah, and like we said, just in this short amount of, or actually pretty long amount of time, we've seen a few battles bouncing around, and just as we've said, this is where we just get down to the concentrated orange juice, and it's oh so sweet. But now as we said, we're splitting hairs, getting into the wall, having these competition timeouts, having the contact, because they are pushing. They don't want to leave it in the judges' hands. That's Colette Davis's team. They're looking on to see what the verdict is. Is it going the way of Talaska or Davis? And the judge is still scrutinizing. And they've already had one more time. And taking a look, see if we get a verdict. There's the Fitment Industries BMW of Colette Davis, Yellow Speed Racing BMW of Corey Talaska. Again, this is ProSpec. They're all running Link Engine Management. They're all running GT radials. And the tire provider is racetreads.com. That's a vote for Colette Davis. And one more time. And Colette Davis gets the victory. So Colette Davis gets the win and advances on. So Colette, definitely a scrappy battle there. Again, that one more time, taking out Talaska, and that was a 2-1. That was not unanimous. Looked like Brian Eggert sided the way of a one more time, but the other two, Reese and Vernon, said that Colette Davis deserves the win. Again, majority rules, 2-1. And here we are.
To finish out our left hand of the bracket here, we got Jerry Johnson again and Louis Lanz.
So this is the second battle.
Correct.
Yes, thank you for just clarifying, because we're bouncing around half battles, and then jumping back in. So here's the second portion of this battle. Jerry Johnson, Louis Lanz, now into that first outside zone. And Jerry comes on into that second outside zone. Man, that looked like Lanz really jumped in there. Now to this third outside zone. And wow. Outside, I mean, Johnson is way out there, way ahead. Lanz loses it in that last outside zone.
He was really getting after it. He was putting it out there. That's what Johnson needed to do in that lead position to really kind of level up here as he leads Louis Lanz into this one more time battle, as Jerry does. He could have been a little deeper in outer zone 1 overall, but Louis kind of mistimes that transition as Jerry doesn't even phase him as he gets into outer zone 3 with that V8 carburetor just screaming as Louis Lanz gets in that transition. Does a decent job of catching it back up, but it's just too much sauce, and he couldn't stay in the mix as Jerry Johnson does a good job in that lead position. I love the angle he poured into outer zone 4. That's what I love to see coming in there, that commitment, acting like there's not a wall there, no consequences, so to speak, and finishes out fully in that outer zone 4. And if that can, the aggression that he throws in there can really throw the chase driver off if you're not sure if they're going to spin out or not. So it's a commitment on both sides if you really think about it.
Yeah, no, we are bouncing around so much. That was the first run of the one more time battle of Jerry and Mr. Lanz. So apologize. I thought it was second half, like I said, just bouncing around.
Yeah, I had to double check the standings too.
Yep. So here we are, the second half of this. Lanz wanted to change out that side and wanted to make sure that alignment was all good. And Lanz now out front and Johnson in the chase position. So here it is, the one more time battle. Lanz in that first outside zone. Johnson diving on the inside now, coming in that second outside zone. Lanz puts the car in the right place. That allows Johnson to be aggressive. Comes a little unwound there, but Lanz looking comfortable up front now, as opposed to the chase position. Got a little loose, and now coming across the finish line.
Okay, I like what Jerry did with Lanz, and Lanz did a great job of, painting a nice picture for Jerry to follow there. Let's take another look at that run as Louis leads Jerry Johnson. Straight up initiation, but you see that attack right away from Jerry Johnson. As he could have been a little deeper. I think Johnson had a little more in that outer zone 1 than Lanz did, and along with outer zone 2. And Jerry put on the pressure through outer zone 3, doing a great job there. Lanz could have been a little deeper there again, and a little lazier transition than Jerry goes into that outer zone 4. But the difference, big difference there I see, is how much more proximity Johnson had going into outer zone 4 and matching the angle of Louis Lanz, making it look easy.
All right, so that is the completion of their one more time battle between Lanz and Johnson. And slide him left for Jerry Johnson gets the win. Jerry Johnson just a little refined. Lanz definitely aggressive, but you saw just getting a little bit too loose in certain portions of the track by analyzation, just by kind of glancing, not even conversing with the judges, but just, Jerry, he was aggressive, but kept it on the track, really applied the pressure. Lanz, some aggressive driving, just refining a little bit, just kind of smooth out those wrinkles.
So now we got the first half of our top 16. We got Cole Richards and Colette Davis going to be our first battle in the top 8, and Jerry Johnson and Cody Buchanan. Whew. And so next up on the right-hand side of our 16 is going to be Nate Chen, Adam Kappic, Alex Jagger, Shelly Hansen, Dimitri Brutzky, and Rawlings, and Brian Wills and Trevor Root.
Halfway through the 16, when we come back, some more action, a continuation of round 3 of the Link Engine Management ProSpec Championship.
Link ECU, let's get it. We got the spiciest K-Series built.
Supercharged Ford Eliminator engine.
Oh, good old SR20. Blink Monsoon is so rowdy.
Naturally aspirated, 1,000 horsepower, LS-based engine. And then we're gonna add nitrous on top of it.
Running an S54 controlled by Link ECU. Link direct injection EcoBoost Fox body.
I actually put an FA24 in it.
B58, E46, Link ECU.
No matter what engine you have, it's a stock K24 or it's a 1,000-wheel 2J. Link ECU all day.
These are my race treads for going the distance.
Racetreads.com. Tires for every adventure.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
Hey gang, we are so excited that you're joining us here in St. Louis. We're on the right side of the brackets in top 16, and this man right here, man, you just put on a show, Jerry Johnson. It was a scrappy battle, and you were just telling me that sometimes you get a little bit too excited. Is that what happened right there?
Exactly what happened. I have the largest problem of getting too excited, and you know, that is the main goal of the weekend. And that's staying calm, staying composed, because I'm in there and I'm just a ball of energy, right? And I'm in general, I'm a ball of energy. And what we've learned the past few rounds is we need to stay calm, stay smooth. You know, there's a time for excitement and there's a time for smooth. Smooth, you gotta be smooth with it.
Well, we're going to see him do exactly that. We're so excited to see that smooth driving coming up. Jared?
I just think about peanut butter. We need smooth peanut butter, not chunky. You know, and Jerry Johnson needs that smooth peanut butter because he is oh so sweet and he's having a dang good time. Keep it smooth. All right, Nate Chen, Adam Kappic. Nate Chen is definitely one to watch. He got second place in Jersey our previous round, and Adam Kappic could put it together, and this is, I think, his opportunity because he knows Nate Chen is going to put down a strong lead run, so a little bit of a trust fall for him. Cross your arms and throw it on in. There goes Nate Chen. Look at that flick. That rate to angle was absolutely rock solid. And you can see he sets it and forgets it. Adam Kappic drops back there in that donut Optima Batteries S chassis. Nate Chen in the third outside zone. This is exactly what we expected, but you can see him just slingshotting away from Adam Kappic. It's all about placement, and almost got a little front end there past that finish line. Like I said, everything post finish line seems to be the big issue. That's where the contact is happening. That's where the tires are debeaten. So stay off.
Yeah, come on, shut it down. Let's see here, as Chen does a great job of throwing it in there, and Kappic kind of sacrificing a little angle to get that proximity right. He grossly mistimed his transition there in outer zone 2, as you can see a little decel light there from Chen as he sets himself up for outer zone 3, but Kappic is so far back, it really didn't upset the chase driver whatsoever, as Kappic had a lot of real estate, even going into outer zone 4 as Chen unwinds the car. Now take another look coming out of outer zone 2. You can see Kappic still in the frame here, does a good job of timing that transition, but he just doesn't have the proximity to make a presence on that rocket ship that is of Nate Chen. So let's see what that Donut Media S14 can do out front with the clean air and Nate Chen giving chase, because I'm expecting something glorious from the Chen camp. Yeah, it better be. I'm gonna have to have a word.
8 out of 8, 9 out of 9.
Nope, 10 out of 10.
Here we go. Adam Kappic will lead, and Nate Chen chasing him down. See if we can farm that aura and get to the side of it. Talking about that S chassis, there goes Nate Chen. He navigates properly. Gives himself a little bit of distance there. Kappic now looks like they are definitely alternating positions. And look at Kappic, throw some more angle on it coming to this last outside zone. Kappic and Chen drops into formation. So, well, thought Chen was going to be a little bit closer, but I think just, you know, again, looking at what Adam did previously.
Yeah, without talking to Chen's spotter directly, I feel like that was a good call if that's what they kind of decided to do. Maybe not go full ham sandwich because of Kappic's chase not being, or being less than stellar. So Chen showing his temperament here. He's doing all the right things. Kappic was a little more wavery, I would say. Didn't look as confident in the lead position as Chen. Outer zone 4 looked great, and Chen did have a little bit of time to catch up there, but I feel like he was a little more dominant in the lead position over Kappic. So we'll see what the judges think about that as Max lines them up for the results here.
Full pull from both the drivers, no incidents, no contact, and Nate Chen gets the victory, and it is unanimous. Nate Chen just a little more refined, a good effort by Adam Kappic, just Nate Chen a solid lead run. Both of them, they need to refine their chase runs. I mean, both, you know, again, I think Nate gave himself a little bit too much room, and Kappic as well. But Nate, I would say his lead run was a little more dominant. And right, here we are taking a look at our live scoreboard. Cole Richards tied now. But keep in mind, Dimitri Brutzky we have not seen yet here in 16. So he is coming up, I believe, 2 battles away. So yeah, and look at Colette, the year she is having, a new car for her, but definitely proven. But you can see Raheem, Jagger down there in top 15. But Shelly Hansen, she's in the mix, 14.
Yeah, a lot of, like I said, there's like a lot of the people that are in their freshman and even sophomore year are doing really great this year. It's a good group of drivers.
Good group of drivers, and as I talked about them, they are, I believe it was 13 and 14 in points right now. So one leapfrogging the other here. Alex Jagger, Shelly Hansen, both these drivers are definitely capable of advancing on. Who is just going to really bring it? Like I said earlier today in 32, I think the real victory lies in how you do in the chase. So strategy-wise, here's Alex Jagger. He's going to lead first, given his result after New Jersey. And here goes Shelly Hansen in the chase position. So I think sometimes there might be an advantage of chasing first, but you might want to put down a good lead run. Usually I'm kind of like, all right, let's lead first, but I think in this case might be an advantage to chase, as Shelly Hansen very shallow on outside zone 2. Jagger is deep into it. That Steal It race treads, all new Z, the Team Hansen S chassis, bringing on into that last outside zone. Looks like she checks up and grips up. Jagger goes all the way to outside zone 4, and unfortunately Shelly leaving a little bit of room on the table, and a smile from Nate Chen says it all. He is moving on. So a little wave to the crowd there for Nate Chen.
Yeah, I liked what we saw out front from Alex Jagger. It was a cool, calculated decisions here in lead position. Shelly was having just a kind of a whole struggle overall trying to keep up with that machine of Alex Jagger. You can see just the eruption of smoke coming out of that 370Z as we get through outer zone 3. And Shelly does a decent job of transitioning, but it also breaks off the line, while Alex was just on point in his lead position there, just doing a great job allowing Shelly to give chase, but she kind of fell a little bit short there, Jared.
And let's alternate the order here as Ms. Hansen will be leading and Jagger chasing her down. Shelly already rip-roaring, ready to go. Get the thumbs up, make sure. Bang, just like that. The lights are on. And they are out, meaning it's go time. Hansen through the chicane. Doesn't look like a restart. We got a clean start. Tip to tail. Alex in the chase position. Shelly does fill that outside zone. Transition out into the second. Looks like Jagger had to kind of just... Oh, is that? Yep. That tire is gone. Was that Shelly's right?
Yeah.
Shelly's back right, correct?
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep, and there it is. So unfortunately for Hansen, she DB'd going to that second outside zone. Yeah, and you called it as soon as
it just like popped out like a
little pin,
like a jack in the box.
Boop. Yep. GT radio in the box. Exits the chat, and that's going to be unfortunately for Shelly Hansen. That is going to hamper any sort of result that she was looking for.
Yeah. Not the way you want to go out. It's really odd that it happened in the following rear wheel.
Yep.
Very odd. They're just trying to find that grip, you know, too low tire pressure.
And it might have been something that, you know, unfortunately was not caught. Maybe hit that bank or something, and then it kind of shows up here. But I mean, look.
Oh, dropped the tire there.
Ah, there you go.
That's going to be the crux of the situation here. And so, and it brings out, you can see, might be able to see it pop.
Later.
See ya. Yeah, I think it was happened out of frame there, that shot, but let's take a look from the eye in the sky as they both enter outside zone 1. And I feel like Jagger was doing a little bit of temperament there. You can see the puff of dirt even. And even Justin smashes in the frame of this one with his drone, and you can see the back right tire just pop out there as the wheel disappears in the frame, and then it just abandons the car. And Shelly tries to do her best to keep the car in drift, but not much you can do with one tire in the game. We'll get our crew, get the S13 on the flatbed, and here are the results, Jared.
Yeah, and unfortunately with that tire debeating, that is going to end Shelly Hansen's road. But Alex Jagger's pumped, and that Steel It Race Treads All New Z advances on to the Grade 8. Throw it down to Lorette Nichols down in the pits.
Hello, gentlemen. I hope you're having a great evening. We are Nate Chen down here, and we were just talking about New Jersey getting that second place and carrying momentum. There was a couple of lessons that you learned that you're able to apply here in St. Louis.
Yeah, I think the biggest one is just getting my mental state kind of in the right place. I kept telling myself in New Jersey, hey, this is just another E-Town gambler. I've had a lot of success there, and it's just because I don't get in my head about, you know, a competition or whatever. And obviously we're on a bigger stage in Formula Drift with a lot more production, so it's a lot easier to get those nerves, even if you've been a seasoned driver, get to you. So yeah, it's just about having fun, relaxing, not overdriving, and just, you know, putting down those laps that I know I can.
Thank you so much for the insight, Nate. Guys?
Thank you, Lorette. And Nate Chen just fixated, eyes on the prize. Hold there. Yep, so having some words, and oh, Shelly's getting a full-on tow.
Oh yeah.
All right, so a full-on tow. All right, so let's take a look at name that part with O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Part Random Part Challenge St. Louis edition. I'm here with Renee Burkett, Mrs. Rad. Renee.
What's up, Dylan?
What is this?
Solenoid of some kind?
That's good enough. This is a distributor condenser for a 1971 Cougar. Mercury Cougar. I knew that.
Aha.
Aha. Okay.
Got to be in here.
I found Travis Reeder in the pits. Travis.
Dylan.
What the heck that is, bro?
Dude, I know exactly what this is.
What is it?
I know exactly what it is. Give me a second first. This has to be definite maybe. So obviously I don't think this is, it might be, does it take in electrical current or does it like?
Brother of mine. I can't give you any hints.
Dude, I want to phone a friend, dude.
Yeah.
It's hard. I don't
Call your dad.
So I've seen this show before, okay? And there's been times where I'm like, I know exactly what that is, and this time I don't have a goddamn clue.
I got you
dude.
something sick.
I don't have a goddamn clue.
You came out really confident though. I like that.
You know what it is? I'm useless.
It is a distributor condenser for a 1971 Mercury Cougar.
Wow.
Brother.
Well, I'm useless. This interview is useless.
I figured we haven't seen Odie struggle in a little while, so we might as well try again. Odie, O'Reilly Auto Part Random Part Challenge. What do we got?
This reminds me of my first car in the side of the distributor. Did I get it?
I mean, it's
yeah.
It's a distributor condenser out of a 1971 Mercury Cougar.
Okay, I definitely didn't have a Mercury Cougar.
That's okay. I wouldn't have guessed that either.
Inside a distributor, I remember seeing these things.
This guy knows.
Yes.
I had a feeling he was going to get it.
I'm a tinkerer, man. Yes.
Victim number 2, St. Louis O'Reilly Auto Part Random Part Challenge. Ken, what the heck that is?
This is some kind of resistor?
Final answer? Good enough for me. That works. It is a distributor condenser for a 1971 Mercury Cougar.
I would have never guessed this.
Neither would I.
Why do you have random ass parts from random ass cars in this game?
So that you can struggle, my friend.
God. Has anyone got this?
My dad knew what it was immediately. Carlos knew what it was, and then I didn't have a clue.
Generational gap.
Yeah, carburetor activities.
Yeah, I wouldn't know anything.
Thanks, Ken.
All right, thank you.
A diode or a capacitor for yeah, you're just gonna make me look real dumb right now. I mean,
this is a distributor condenser for a 1971 Mercury Cougar.
Yeah, no one's ever gonna guess that.
Kerry nailed it immediately. Like he was
no way.
He was gonna spit a part number out, dude. He was like,
you told him.
I did not, bro.
No.
I didn't even get it
No
near
way.
me. There is 100. I didn't know what it was. Either. I didn't know what it was. My dad immediately knew.
You don't look stupid at all, Jonathan Hurst. That's great. I love that. Those are fun videos. Thank you, Dylan Hughes. Thank you to O'Reilly Auto Parts for their support of the series. As the boring dot ride BMW of Dmitry Brutzky is on the line. BMW is moving on up to the line. Here's our next battle, and it looks like Brutzky. Who's he going against?
Kelsey Rawlings.
Kelsey Rawlings. That's right. So Kelsey Rawlings coming to the line. She had a great lead run, or excuse me, just a run earlier in a battle in 32. Just the way she drove was very clinical. Like I said, that's just the word that kept coming to my mind. Just clean, nothing too fancy, nothing extraneous. Just overall a very tidy, clean run.
Yeah, I liked what I saw there. That was a little unexpected and a pleasant surprise. So
okay, so we can see the cars on the line. There you go, the accelerator lights on the windscreen are lit up green. Now coming in to that first outside zone, and Kelsey Rawlings taking a way shallow line, unfortunately too aggressive, and dives in on the inside not once but twice, cutting the apex there. Unfortunately, as I was complimenting her first run, this is way out of shape, unfortunately, for Kelsey Rawlings and Dmitry Brutzky. So it seemed that she was thrown off from the jump, trying to be aggressive. We'll take a look at, again, that initiation.
Yeah, I just wonder with the temperature dropping here, she hasn't driven since the sun was out, and maybe they just made a miscalculation and maybe keeping the same tire pressures as before, not opening up, taking the dampening out of the shocks or what have you. But Brutzky flicking the heck out of that BMW in there. And Rawlings, this isn't it might be a racetrack, but we can't be having you pass the driver here. There's no inside clips, but Brutzky doing a great job keeping the composure out front. Rawlings really shortening the course there in that S14 as they round out to the finish line, absent of all the zones pretty much, trying to follow Brutzky here as he does a good job, left foot braking, getting into that R zone, doing a good transition there. And I'm not sure if Kelsey just got lost in that smoke, but it is not an incomplete, as you can see the furthest right line there. She had all the tires on, so you'd have to be grossly off to have that incomplete. She just wasn't very present in the chase position, unfortunately. Hopefully she can clean up their act for the lead position. We can see something that attain to like what she did in the top 32 to let Brutzky give a good chase.
Yeah, and Kelsey needs to put down just like she did earlier, like you said, and she needs to force an error or get an error out of Brutzky, but very uncharacteristic of him. There goes Kelsey Rawlings in that first outside zone, and then now into the second, brings it on in. Would definitely like to see that overhead, but oh boy, and that car just came to an absolute halt.
Yeah, maybe there's some other underlining issues here that we might not be aware of. Yeah, that car looked like it was. Now that we've got a more fuller picture painted here with Kelsey's lead run, or at least half of it anyway, that the car just didn't seem to fully light up. So maybe we can deduce that in the replay and see what might happen if we get any word from Lorette or otherwise.
Okay, so as we are waiting for the outcome here, I'm sure you'll know. Let's take a look at it here again.
Yeah, not much happening in the back of that car as far as smoke being generated like the Brutzky car. You can just see that car without being able to hear it well here in the booth. Car just kind of shut down. You can see the decel lights weren't all the way down, but you can kind of tell just visually that the car lost a lot of momentum there as Brutzky tried his best to, you know, chase what he was given, and the car just ran out of room, and unfortunately made a collision with Kelsey Rawlings there. So I'm fairly confident they'll have that decision here pretty quick.
Dmitry Boomski in the side of Kelsey Rawlings, and again, fans watching all across the globe, and including Cameron Mitchell from Neon Moon Studio right here in St. Louis, tuning in, tattooing, and having a good time. Speaking of tattoos, looks like Brutzky tattooed the side of that S chassis. One more battle left in our racetreads.com top 16. Let's throw down to Lorette Nickel. Lorette, who you got down there in the pits?
Well, Alex Jagger just had quite the battle against Shelly. Tell us your perspective.
That was a pretty wild battle in my career of PROSPEC. I mean, she was so fast. She took off the line like a rocket ship, and I was like, oh man, I can't hang with her. And she threw it in, and I thought like where I entered was where I normally would, and she just kept going. All of a sudden, drops off the track, comes back on, and we're coming through outer zone 2, and I see the whole tire fall off her car, and I ran over it. My brain was like, stop drifting, you got the win. It was pretty easy. I should have stayed drifting because it really looked like a fun lap. She was killing it. So major props to her to stay in it and trying to make it happen, but she drove really well. That was probably one of the craziest battles I've had in PROSPEC so far, but it was a good time. The car's great, so, you know, can't be mad about that.
Perfect. Alex, thank you so much. No damage to the car, luckily. Guys.
A wild one. Yeah, I mean, it's like an asteroid coming at you, you know, just like, you're like, oh boy, iceberg dead ahead. All right, Trevor Root and Brian Wills on the start line, our final battle of top 16. And Trevor Root will lead Zero Chill Wills in that chase position. Trevor Root, he had a great battle in 32, but here in 16, who is going to advance onto the 8? Trevor Root, look at Wills right there tucked in. Put him to bed, baby. Put him in a sleeper hold.
Yeah.
Root and Wills, yes sir. Root into that third outside zone. Look at Wills, the nasty habit S chassis. Root just barely, I mean, paper thin right between him and the wall. The BMW rips past that bump on the wall.
That's the kind of run I expected to see from Trevor Root. I was excited for this one. You know, we got kind of Root kind of just coming into his own with Wild Wills here as they get through outer zone 1. Could have been a little deeper in outer zone 1. A good transition here. Wills put it right in the pocket in outer zone 2 as they swing it back into outer zone 3. Wills lose a little bit of position there in the chase as Root does a great job here transitioning, getting real nice and tight to that wall as he gets fully into outer zone 4, with Wills kind of falling back behind, losing a little proximity in that chase position. So I'm expecting a really wild lead run from Wills as we get these roles reversed here and rocking and rolling.
All right, here we go in the second half of this battle. Wills will be leading, Root giving chase. Pulling up to the line, who is going to be going against Brutzky in the grade 8. Loving the weather. It's definitely chilled out quite a bit, literally and figuratively, as far as the competition that first portion of the 16 was it was calamity, man. Just bouncing around one more time, half battles, tires debeated, cars flying, clutch kicking, taking names, baby. Coming to that first outside zone. There it goes. Zero Chill Wills and Nasty Habit ass chassis, and man, bathing in smoke is Trevor Root. Looks like he might have got a little smoke blinded in that second outside zone, and Wills goes into the third. Root taking a shallower line. That where he needs to be, and Wills digs all the way deep. Root comes to a halt.
Oh, right before the
last
line.
outside zone. And it didn't look like there was contact, was there? It looked like, I mean, that thing just came to a halt, almost like Kelsey's car did.
Yeah, it kind of dove in shallow, and then the car just kind of parked. At first glance, anyway. Let's we'll get to that part later as we see this run up here from Wills and Root. Root putting on the pressure early as Wills does a great job of filling out that outer zone 1. Decent transition here. Root with the whip, and wow, I didn't realize how shallow Wills was in that outer zone 2. Very big detriment there as they get through outer zone 3. Root trying to set himself up for that nasty transition, but kind of falls up short, way short of the outer zone 4 as Wills does a great job, and the car just says, nope, I give up. Tired boss. So as Wills does, we'll take another look here as with Justin Smash here as you can see the smoke pouring out of that S15 of Wills and the snappy transition, albeit mistimed from Root as they get through outer zone 2 onto 3. You can see Root kind of priming himself for that attack there as he does the transition just a little too hard. You can see left foot braking there a little bit, and the car just says no more.
Yeah, it's like taking a dog for a walk, and the dog's like, nope, just gonna sit here.
And then you're dragging.
Yep, just dragging Heine. Come on, bud. No, man, what a bummer for Trevor Root. Yeah. Joking aside, a good lead run, but in the chase, looks like Brian Wills gets it done. He's going to the Great 8. So congratulations to Wills. He advances on, and we have our Great 8 shaped. So that concludes our racetreads.com, the official tire service provider of the Formula Drift ProSpec Championship, and they will be moving on. So. All right, Link Engine Management, top 16, there it is, and now the Great 8 has been shaped up. Cole Richards versus Colette Davis, Jerry Johnson versus Cody Buchanan, Nate Chen versus Jagger, and most recently, Brutzky versus Brian Wills.
What are you excited for the most here, Jared?
Jagger and Chen.
Okay, I can see that. I'm excited for the Johnson Buchanan here.
Yeah, those are, holy cow. If you could bottle the Johnson Buchanan energy drink, that would be really fun.
That is, I don't even think they've classified that type of energy yet, Jared.
Nasty Habit, Collision Careers, the Wills camp watching on as he comes back to the pits. Cole Richards, Colette Davis. Yep. So two very different drivers and attitudes. Cole Richards, very soft-spoken, you know, the black sheep, that 86. Colette Davis, the high-vis neon pink and yellow. Very bubbly, outspoken. Colette Davis, she again entering the Formula Drift competition and the ProSpec Championship, and she's been a great addition. Here we go, Cole Richards. Most recent winner in New Jersey. Can he go back-to-back? Aggressive flick in that first outside zone. Again, lurking in the shadows in that second outside zone. And Colette Davis dives on the inside. That Fitment Industries vehicle now into the third outside zone. Cole Richards, perfect, master class. Colette Davis now transitions. You can see up close and personal. And she definitely has that. Maybe a little boop of the snoot right there.
Hopefully they learned from that DB last time, but that is okay. Look at Wills. Probably pretty happy with his last run there as he gets on. I don't know if that's his furthest advancement here in FD ProSpec, but we'll find that out later, as I really like the initiation here from Richards, just snapping in there, and Davis right there behind him as they get through outer zone 1. She flicks that in, gets lost in the smoke a little early, gets in front of the pocket in the chase position as Richards just pours on the smoke into outer zone 3. She's sacrificing a little bit of angle there, not as much as in the previous battles, but I like the Richards approach here as he gets in outer zone 4. Colette needed to be a little more aggressive going into that outer zone 4 to gain that proximity, and what we want to see there finishing out the run. So here we go, a little left foot braking from Richards getting through that outer zone 1. You can see Colette getting in front of that pocket, making adjustments there, a little left foot braking. Resets the car. We're getting through outer zone 3. You can see her wheeling in there, kind of massaging in that pocket. Smoke is definitely a huge factor now. Where the lights are on in the stadium. It's nighttime. Smoke is just going to be amplified for that chase driver. So hats off to these drivers being able to kind of dive through that, almost just using their muscle memory. It's quite a feat.
Yeah, it is very impressive when they come out, especially that 1 to 2. That seems to be where the most smoke and the the smoke line is where you're going to be buried in it. So have to navigate through that. Like you said, muscle memory. Colette Davis now out front. Cole Richards in that chase position. We'll see what kind of momentum he has. Colette initiates in that first outside zone. Now transition, that's what I was talking about, but not a lot of smoke coming off the back end of that BMW. Looks like maybe a little hiccup, and then now into outside zone 3. Colette puts it in there, and Cole Richards chases her down in the last outside zone. You can see just a little yank of the handbrake and bringing it on in, and Cole says, all right, I'm not even gonna play down there. Colette went on the downside, so that was an interesting approach.
She's like, I know this game, not again. Yeah, looking back here, there's a few things to take away. I'd like to point out here in Colette's run. With it being dark, you probably couldn't see this live, but she was pretty shallow in outer zone 1, left a little early. Richard's doing a good job of anticipating that, and the transition also here absent completely in outer zone 2. Good composure, but it's not going to be enough. You need to fill those zones here when that's basically your only objective as a lead driver, among other things, of course. But Richard's doing a great job of keeping the pace with that highlighter and pink car of Colette Davis. So with the mistakes in that lead position, I have a feeling which way the judges are kind of thinking, but that's just my takeaway from it. We really got to fill those zones out, and despite the adaptability of Cole Richards in the chase position, it's we can see the result here.
Yep, Cole Richards is dominant here. Unfortunately, Colette Davis in that Fitment Industries BMW is knocked out, but Cole continues his success and is going to the Final Four. And with that, he is guaranteed a podium. So he will be on the box because he's our #1 coming into this round. So he is guaranteed a podium. Even if he loses in Final Four, he will get 3rd place. So Cole Richards back on the podium, but he would love to, again, do it once again. He won in New Jersey.
All right, Jared.
Oh boy,
this is what I'm talking about.
Johnson and Buchanan. I think you could plug in the power cords to this place and run it off the energy of these two manimals. These guys, yeah, I mean, in this corner, you got Jerry Johnson and Cody Buchanan in the other. Let's see what these two powerhouses and energy of that 12-volt power can just fuse and start the fire that is PROSPEC competition. So you can see the flame. Again, that's not graphics. That's literally he is on fire. He is just running.
Yeah, they're both coming up.
Running hard.
You need a little excitement?
Crack into a can of Jerry Johnson, double J, get your job done. JJJ, Jerry Johnson getting the job done. And then Cody Buchanan looking like an Easter egg out there. And the surprise is Cody Buchanan's inside of it.
And he's going to make some omelets.
Yeah, that's right. Shake and bake. Here we go. Jerry Johnson out front. Cody Buchanan in the chase position. Boom, look at that. Cody Buchanan tries to anticipate that. Drops into formation. The 97, Jerry Johnson transitions in. Buchanan let it hang out. And that was a good, again, he really adapted to where Jerry was and brings it all the way out to that wall transition. This last outside zone. There goes Johnson. Good angle from him.
Wow.
Maxes it out. How he held on to that is beyond me. You know, they say when you yeah, I won't get into it. So Jerry Johnson,
good
night. Definitely held on to that. His fingernails, he was clawing. You know, again, him being a cat guy, his claws were out.
I think, yeah, there might have been some, there might have been a passenger in there helping him hold on to that thing. But Buchanan, a little waver there in the chase position, but you could just hear that V8 screaming in the front of Jerry Johnson. He does a great job of filling out that outer zone 2. Buchanan a little bit out of the frame here as he puts the pressure back on in outer zone 3. Now look at this here. Johnson leaves zone 3 early, but he really makes up for it in that just swinging that that FRS Z86, whatever you want to call it today, but Buchanan right there with him. If he would have had the proximity, we might have been putting a fault on the lead driver there, but that's for speculation. As you can see, Buchanan trying to make up some real estate here as they get into outer zone 3. Jerry pulls out of outer zone 3 a little early here, and good anticipation that transition for Buchanan, but he sees that car in the lead position just whip around. I think that made him like second guess his decisions there in that chase position as he backed off a little bit as Jerry finished out the run and did stay in drift miraculously.
Let's see, Cody Buchanan out front. He's got the clean air, but he's got the yellow nose diving in and in his rear view mirror. Ooh, across the nose. Speaking of the nose, Jerry Johnson. He is just not backing down. Jerry looks like he's riding shotgun with Buchanan now coming to the second outside zone. He needs to keep it smooth. He said he got a little too much energy, but is that smooth? Is that smooth enough? Buchanan brings it on in. Oh, buddy. smooth jazz. Cody Buchanan and Jerry Johnson getting a little more mosh pit than he is yacht rock right now.
A lot to unpack here, Jared. We'll break
sail.
it down. Look at this. Yeah, I like, get back to impeding the driver. Jerry took a pretty big risk there on the run-up, but he did a little contact there we didn't see live there as Buchanan doesn't seem to waver after that, and Jerry Johnson's just trying to do his best to keep that proximity as Buchanan does a better job filling out that outside zone 3 and gets a little off course. Another contact. This is a rough and tumble chase run from Jerry Johnson, just letting Buchanan know that he is present there. And you can see almost a contact there on the run-up. Buchanan looking smooth out front. A little contact there before the transition. I think that's kind of wavered Jerry Johnson as he tries to kind of make up for it in the last half of this run. As Buchanan kind of shallow in outer zone 3, but then makes up for it at the end, coming out of it a little later. Does a great job setting himself up there, getting off the handbrake and back on throttle. A little early out of there and outside zone 4, but Johnson kind of fell apart in the chase at the end of the run and outside zone 4. So exciting nonetheless, but mistakes were made. Let's see what the judges have to say.
Look at Jerry jumps out of the vehicle. All right, let's take a look at the replay. BC racing side by side.
Yeah, you can see just about contact there on the run-up, but you can see Buchanan also had his little wavering, but I feel he looked a lot more comfortable in the chase position, if we're being honest. Buchanan, even if he had a little wavering, he didn't make it obvious when he was trying to catch up, and he does a little better job of keeping his composure, where Jerry's like, oh, I got to get close and back off, get back in the game, where Buchanan just looked a little more comfortable. But Jerry did have a really good lead run.
I'll just say it was a little more glitchy. I guess so.
Yeah, the resolution was a little lower.
Yeah. He was downloading, he's buffering. Regardless, Buchanan ball, his team looking on.
See that helmet? That thing was sparkling.
Yeah. But Jerry Johnson, what
a character.
Yeah, what a character, what a big personality, and that's what it just makes our job a little easier as far as these personalities, and people say, like, I like that guy, and just people start investing. You look at some great marketing here from a lot of these PROSPEC drivers, so go support these guys and gals. So these are drivers that some of them jump over into the Pro Championship. I mean, shoot, all 3 winners from PROSPEC last year are now pros.
Right.
Mata, Osoli, and TLO.
Yep.
And speaking of winners, Cody Buchanan gets the win, but Jerry Johnson, we'll see you in Utah. So congratulations to Buchanan. He advances on. He'll be going against last round's winner and are currently #1 in, again, as far as Cole Richards. So we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll continue here with our racetreads.com top 16.
Racetreads.com. Tires for every adventure.
ECU, let's get it. We got the spiciest K-Series built.
Supercharged Ford Eliminator engine.
Oh, good old SR20. Blink Monsoon is so rowdy.
Naturally aspirated, 1,000 horsepower, LS-based engine, and then we're going to add nitrous on top of it.
Running an S54 controlled by Link ECU. Link direct injection EcoBoost Fox body.
I actually put an F824 in it. B58, E46, Link ECU.
No matter what engine you have, it's stock K24 or it's a 1,000 wheel 2J. Link ECU all day.
Welcome back to the streets of Long Beach. Once again, here we are. Cars are staged, the flags are waving, the umbrellas are out, the track is hot, the wind is blowing, and the drivers are ready. He is Chris, the Force, Forford! Force ring applying the pressure outside, go free! Make some noise!
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
Welcome to Taco Bell. What can I get started for you?
I'd like a cantina chicken bowl, please, and the Tropical Punch Rockstar Energy Refresca.
Pull ahead to the pickup window and try not to leave a trail this time. Nice drifting, Freddie. Enjoy your Rockstar Energy Refresca.
Thank you.
And here we have some of the spotters, some of the hardcore fans. I'm seeing O'Sullivan up there. I'm seeing some of the drivers watch on. Seeing the horns, that Pierre and Jackson, that's right. Seeing Chris Mady, Forsberg's up there. And Bree Lane, I think, in the building. Some of these hardcore fans, like I said. So some other drivers, some spotters. High atop the tower, Nate Chen, Alex Jagger. This is a battle that I would anticipate is going to be just that little X factor. Somebody's going to need to like break the wrist if there's an arm wrestling competition.
Yeah, I feel like both of these guys are almost like surgeons when it comes to it.
Yes.
They're a little more calculated. So I like to see them break out of that norm and just really stick it.
Yep.
Stick it to the course.
Yep. And both these guys, keep in mind, they're E-Town Gambler boys.
Oh, look out.
So, we saw Nate Chen be dominant just outside of that first ever win. He did get second place, really believed in himself, and he's got a great attitude. Alex Jagger would love to take him down, and get Jagger on the box, that Steal It, Race Treads, all new Z. He's operating out of the Forsberg Racing camp. Definitely a talented driver. And there we go. We are good to send. Clear to send. Looks like Nate Chen will lead. Alex Jagger given the chase. Coming to his first outside zone, tip to tail. Look at, Alex Jagger goes across and gets involvement, stays in it. Both of them thrashing and bashing into that second outside zone. Look at that. It's merely a flesh wound, a bunch of ankles. Here we go to that third outside zone. Nate Chen digs deep. Now into this last outside zone. How are they going to navigate? Boom, both of them put it right in it. Wow. Well done. So it looks like that bash bar just opened up that can of worms, but these guys kept on fishing. No problem for Nate Chen. Look at that. That was so sick. I want to get this overhead view, but you saw Alex, you said surgeon, you wanted the extra thing. So, I mean, that was a botched surgery if I've ever seen.
Like I'm an onion. Peel the layers on this thing. That's a high risk maneuver, but it paid off because that could have been worse. But look at that. And even the front fender of that 370Z gets into out of shape there as they look at the proximity and just the unwavering for both of these drivers. Jagger getting a little move back there, but great job anticipating in that zone 4. That's one of the keys to victory here that we talk about, is just that transition, the commitment going to the outer zone 4 from 3. So you can see the little action there. Now remember, the chase driver cannot impede on that lead driver during initiation. So luckily it did pay off for Jagger as he had a good approximation in that initiation, and getting out of zone 4, you can see him still applying the pressure. And Nate Chen, hats off to you for staying unwavered, and great job by both gentlemen here. Let's see what that Z can do out front.
Yeah, and there they are, just back to the start line. I think
we're gonna get some gaffer's tape on there, some zip ties.
Just a little battle damage, like I said, just merely a flesh wound. Doesn't seem like it impaired too much of the action, and like you said, kudos to Nate Chen continuing on, and Jagger, that front right fender.
Yeah, I bet Nate didn't even know what happened. It just peeled off like.
Oh, I definitely think it.
Now he does. Now he does, obviously.
Yeah. Yep. All right, so it looks like just going for it.
Speaking of surgery, our boy Max is gonna throw on a couple staples there and get him back into shape.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna have to address that front fender since Jagger's in the lead position. We don't want any distractions.
Let's take a look. It's like, again, thank you to our FD staff. Thank you to our Worldwide Technology Raceway Park staff. Max taking a look at that fender, that front right. Might have to just pop that thing off, unfortunately, that contact.
Look at the spoils of the battle there.
Yeah. Souvenir.
Yeah, let's see what we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
I think he's got some duct tape up there.
popped up.
But I'm sure it's attached to the rocker panel and the bumper, so it's not just a quick pop-off situation. Yeah, and you don't want to lose like that. We want that thing secured. Oh, so he's going to call his 5 to get that thing secured.
So,
okay.
yeah, I, you know, basically with it being the lead car, you know, if that fender or that bumper comes off, it could not only impair Nate Chen, but it could slide underneath Alex Jagger's car. I think that's a wise move. Going to call a comp timeout, 5-minute allotment. You get one in the entirety of competition day. So I think that's a smart move on, you know, FD staff is basically forcing it upon him, saying, hey, call the comp timeout. Your equipment isn't 100, so let's go ahead and fix it, repair it, get that fender off, or tighten it up, and then continue on with the second half of this battle.
Yeah, because if he, you know, manages to come out with a win on this, he's going to be, you know, in a good position to podium. So that's a good move on using that competition timeout instead of risking, you know, losing the battle because of debris falling off of his car, impeding the chase driver.
Okay, so actually I am getting word. So is this a complimentary timeout?
Gotcha.
So instead of
they'll both get 5 because it was contact with a complete run. That makes sense.
Yeah. All right, so the team did not call for the complimentary 5, so instead of charging it to them, we're going to help them out and take a look at it. So, all right, so let's run it back to round 1. We kicked off our season. We kick off every season over the last few years in Long Beach. So let's take a look back, and we honored a true legend, a good friend of mine and a good friend of yours, Larry Chen, entering into the Formula Drift Hall of Fame.
And here it is. The party continues. We have an action-packed opening ceremony.
What's really cool about this event, since we have so much history, we've started the Formula Drift Hall of Fame, and now we're going outside of the grid. Larry Chen is getting nominated and inducted into the Hall of Fame. How cool is that? Congratulations, Larry Chen. We're going to wrap out with him, too. It's pretty sick.
Today is a pretty special day. Today we are inducting the first ever non-driver to the Hall of Fame. Say hello to the 2025 Formula Drift Hall of Fame inductee, Larry Chen.
Dude, congrats. Not only on a great event, but, you know, just overall, tight bass, night lights. You're a non-driver in the Hall of Fame.
My loyalty is to Formula Drift. That's my home. I started back here in 2006, the first Formula Drift Long Beach, and then 127 events later, I'm here. My life's work is to basically show off the beauty and absolute destruction and the skill and the precision, all of that, through my lens.
You're living your life at shutter speed, baby. Congratulations, dude. Love you, Larry.
Love you too.
All right, with that being said, we'll send it. Next stop, Atlanta.
Look how bling this thing is.
Look at that. Kiss the ring,
He's the
dude.
first one.
Kiss the ring.
First one to kiss it.
Kiss the ring.
I love it.
That ring's bigger than you.
We'll see you online or we'll see you another time. We will send it.
Kiss the ring, respect the Chen, Larry Chen, that is. There is Wills in that Nasty Habit S chassis. We saw him earlier, and he put down one heck of a run. He is going a proven PROSPEC champion, not once, but twice. Dimitri Brutzky, our former champ. And he's got his son up here in the spotter's tower, giving him some insight. He competes at E-Town as well. So Brutzky rolling it out in that boring, again, that boring car collection.
Boring hot ride.
That's a car collection.
Interesting.
Car collection Instagram account. So be sure to check them out at Boring Ride.
Yeah, currently in contention for that third championship against Cole Richards. So we haven't seen the live standings yet, but Cole Richards before Brutzky was able to battle. So yeah, it's a tight one,
It's
tight
a
race.
battle.
Yeah, it's
We
a
got
real barn
battle of
burner.
numbers. Yeah, it's just like, here they go. But yeah, they were tied going in, and here they are tied. So Cole, if if the instance happens where Brutzky gets knocked out, Cole Richards would assume the lead. Yep. So right now it's Brutzky and Wills. And I got to tell you, Cole Richards is a Wills fan right now.
That's very true. Right? So he's maybe got a little bug in his ear.
Absolutely.
Step it up.
All right, Brutzky will lead, given his position, and Brian Wills chasing him down.
All right.
All right. Let's see what we got. The lights will illuminate and extinguish. And away they go. Brutzky got a clean start. The green lights are on, and boom, great aggressive flick. Both of them, and Wills in tow. Transition, tapping that brake real quick. Oh, Wills dives in on the inside, but Brutzky stays within that second outside zone. Nice clean sweep all the way into outside zone 3. Transition past the hump into the outside zone 4. Right on the corner edge goes Brutzky, and Wills drops into formation. Great job by Dmitry Brutzky.
Yeah, great performance by both these drivers. I really liked what I saw in both positions. Let's take another look as Brutzky flicks in there, and Will's trying to do his best to keep up as he gets deep and almost dropping a tire. You can see a little bit of that action as Wills kind of gets in front of the pocket there, sets the car back up into that pocket where we want to see him in that chase position. But you can see Brutzky could have used a little more angle, momentum going through outer zone 3. I felt like maybe there was some foot braking going on there to keep the car settled. But Wills does a great job in outer zone 4, keeping the pace with that BMW of Dmitry Brutzky. Now we can get a little different perspective here. You can see the tire just dropped there. The smoke kind of turned brown a little bit as we get into outer zone 2. Wills again, like I said, getting back in formation for outer zone 3, and Brutzky barely getting 2 tires into the outer zone 3. Like I said, I would like to see a little more angle and momentum going through that outer zone 3 as they finish out the course. Wills staying in the fight here. So let's give Wills the chance for some clean air. I feel like he's going to want to burn this track down for this run.
Yeah, he's really going to need to put down a strong lead run. You saw Brutzky especially kind of just put that exclamation point on a great lead run on outside zone 4.
Yeah.
Wills, you got to think again, here he is on the second run. His tires are holding on, and he's going to need to force an error of Brutzky, who we know can really rise to the occasion. And there is Wills. He does what he needs to do in outside zone 1, goes into 2, gets it there, and Brutzky dives in on the inside, so he is not. Want to see that overhead view and just solidify what I think is true, but Brutzky, great proximity. Now in outside zone 4, there goes Wills and Brutzky in tow. Wow. So I definitely want to see the truth serum, see that overhead. We could take a look at the, again, the first person view, but also I want to see that locked big overhead.
Yeah, I feel like
show placement. I'm sure we're gonna go side by side.
Yeah, big time. I would be surprised if we didn't, Jared. I really like the aggression here from Willis. Brutzky doing a good job of keeping up. Could have been a little deeper, but he didn't drop a tire. So whatever difference that the judges want to look at that's all right. Could have been a little deeper in outer zone 2, and I was wondering how Brutzky was keeping up so well, and I think the reason is Wills just wasn't as deep in all the zones as he could well. He did have a little lazier transition versus Brutzky's transition into outer zone 4. So as his crew looks on for this result, nervously waiting. Let's see what happens. You guys can wave, smile. Feel free. It's okay.
Nope. Serious right now. Ice cold, ice in their veins.
All right, that BC Racing side by side, you can see the aggression from the Brutzky camp as the in the chase position, a little more aggressive versus Willis. They both kind of came out of the pocket there, but Brutzky recovered a little more eloquently as Brutzky does fill up that outer zone 3, albeit with less angle. And versus Will's lead position, as both parties were getting through outer zone 4 about as equally as well. Brutzky a little deeper than Will's in that outer zone 4. So we can see the nerves here. There we go. There's a smile and wave. Thank you. We're having fun out here. Let's go.
Ivy watching on. She is nervous. That is Mr. Will's lady. She is, her fingernails all gone. Toenails gone. She's chewing them away. I'm joking. All joking aside, Will's definitely has been making some noise. Collision Careers, S chassis. Brutzky already looking at the tail of the tape, analyzing the alien riding shotgun. Big Country Labs. Sans the wing, but I know he's had some support. Hey, the excitement there.
I think
double thumbs up regardless. He's feeling confident, but it's infectious when you just have a good attitude. You know, it's just manifesting.
Brian's one of those guys. He's just super happy to be invited to the party.
One more time. One and a Brutzky vote and a Brutzky vote. So just a bit outside, and it is 2-1. A great effort by Wills, but definitely give him a round of applause for Wills. But Brutzky comes out on top. So 2-1 majority rules, and we have the half of the battle left. Remember, if you recall that contact made where Chen initiated, Jagger got right there. The complimentary competition timeout said, go take a look at your cars, analyze, strap on those bumpers, most notably that front right fender of Alex Jagger. That could have come off. The bumper could slide under. So with him being the lead car, definitely want to get that thing up to snuff. So here they are back of the line, the second half of this battle. Alex Jagger, racetreads.com, Steal It, Z, and Nate Chen, the NCR number 4, that 86 will be chasing him down. Lights are on. Once they extinguish, let's go for it. Alex Jagger will lead, and here comes Jagger through that start chicane. Jagger flying out of the chicane and into that first outside zone. Look at Nate Chen right there. Now transition the second outside zone. You can see Nate Chen not mimicking the angle, but definitely has the proximity in outside zone 3. There goes Jagger. Chen not as deep. Now transitioning in that last outside zone. Jagger using all of the course. Chen again giving himself a little bit of distance here. All right.
Yeah, I was waiting to see that top 32 transition from Chen, but boy,
right?
He kind of fell short for me there. But let's take another look at the lead run of Alex Jagger with Nate Chen giving chase. So run up, pretty run-of-the-mill straight handbrake initiation, but look at the proximity from Chen here. I think he could have gotten away without left foot braking there as it kind of let him get behind here, but he does make up for it going through outer zone 3, reeling in that Z of Alex Jagger. Does a good job of mimicking the transition, but it's just not aggressive enough to keep on that pressure that he had earlier in the course. So we take a look at Dmitry Brutzky. He's going to get ready for his Final Four battle against the winner of this battle of Jagger and Chen.
And there is Brutzky already thrashing to see who he's going to be going against. He's just got to focus on the ride, focus on the car, see. And Brutzky taking a look.
Sound like they're might have been testing some cooling fans there if you could hear the wind rushing back there. It was running a little spicy.
I'm not doing anything.
Okay.
The first thing we started looking at.
Yeah, taking a look, and said taillights weren't working, so making sure they were working.
Right, look at that. You can see that little boop there on the left corner, or left side of the screen. As you can see, Chen dominating the proximity game in his chase position, but looking smooth out front. Both drivers doing a great job in their lead positions here. As you can see the gap between the two in their chase positions, though, as Jagger kind of struggled, but also did a better job of that outside zone forward. Chen, unfortunately, didn't see that quick flick transition as we saw in top 32 to solidify his position here in the top 16 and now 8 against Alex Jagger.
All right, who is it? Who is it gonna be? Is it gonna be Alex Jagger advancing on Nate Chen, who got second in Jersey? Alex Jagger, these guys both E-Town gamblers. Shout out to the Knapp family. See y'all in a little bit. Sung King just announced we got that event going down in E-Town. Announced Drifter the movie. Quite a few people involved.
One more side by side. Yeah, so you can see similar aggressiveness there, and their transitions could have been timed a little bit better. I think Jagger had the advantage there as he had the proximity, but then it kind of fell apart and came back later where Chen had it, and then it fell apart. He just needed to put himself further to the right, driver's right in that chase position to really, you know, seal the deal there in that chase position, where Jagger just slowly closed that envelope in the chase position.
All right, so we are taking a look and waiting for the outcome here between Chen and Alex Jagger. Our next battle will be in the final 4, and that is Cole Richards and Cody Buchanan. The first battle of the final 4, and we are hearing that Buchanan has called the competition timeout. He was intended to be in the burnout box. We called him up to the line, but unfortunately he has sustained some damage, so he's working on that and calling a comp timeout. So 1 vote for Nate Chen and a one more time and a one more time. They're going at it again. So Chen and Jagger. So Vernon saying Nate Chen, the other 2 saying go at it again. Let's see a one more time. And I absolutely agree with that. So a driver going at it in the final 4 is Brutzky against one of those gentlemen. So throwing it down to Lorette Nickel. Lorette?
We were just talking about his crew. He is a crew of 4 people. It's himself, his son Jacob, who is up in the spotter tower, his wife, and his brother who's working on the car, and he's doing double duty. Is that affecting what you're concentrating on once you're in the car?
The results showing that I'm driving better under stress or some kind of results like that. So we're okay. We're on time. We're fixing the car when it breaks, and we're driving decent. Yeah. Still got a couple things to improve on, but yeah, well, I'm just trying not to worry about anything outside of my control, because that doesn't help. It's only ruin. So I just learn to let it go and enjoy the ride and do what we can, and as far as we can. Hopefully all the way.
Amazing. So we saw you jump straight into the car and you were checking your rear lights.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. Maybe after the bump something disconnected, or PDM maybe flickered. So after restarting the car, because the PDM just reset themselves, after restarting the car, turning the lights, they work, brake works. So I check all the connections, wiggle my quarter panels, and it's still working. Kevin, Cam, and check. So I hope nothing happens again. So we're just doing what we can.
Yeah, Kevin Wells came over, put eyes on it, and gave it the okay. So congratulations moving forward. Jared, let's go back to you guys.
Thank you, Lorette. Congratulations, Brutzky. We'll see you in the final 4. Taking a look at the standings, Brutzky and Cole Richards. So, and these are live updates. So with that advancement, Brutzky still does assume the overall driver championship lead. Cole Richards, he is in the final 4. So is Brutzky, but there you can see some of these drivers. So you got to consider Alex Jagger. He still has that battle against Chen, so that could shake things up. But a lot of these names are already knocked out, including Shelly Hansen, Cameron Sorensen, as the sun is definitely set. Local time, 10 p.m. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, more action here in St. Louis at the Crossroads.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
These are my race treads for when the road ends.
These are my race treads for shredding the slopes.
These are my race treads for setting the hook.
Racetreads.com. Tires for every adventure.
Link ECU, let's get it. We got the spiciest K-Series built.
Supercharged Ford Eliminator engine.
Oh, good old SR20. Blink Monsoon is so rowdy.
Naturally aspirated, 1,000 horsepower, LS-based engine. And then we're going to add nitrous on top of it. Running an S54 controlled by Link ECU. Link direct injection EcoBoost Fox body.
I actually put an FA24 in it. B58, E46, Link ECU.
No matter what engine you have, it's a stock K24 or it's a 1,000 wheel 2J. Link ECU all day.
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
Need a little help? We got help. Need some advice? We got advice. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Exceptional customer service. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. the professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
BC Forged Wheels, custom built per order, offering extensive design, finish, and machining options. Strength, style, and precision come standard. Track proven, street ready. BC Forged, proud sponsor of Formula Drift 2025.
B2 as it is nicknamed, but it is the Shoreline Showdown. First ever purpose-built Formula Drift track on the streets of Long Beach. Shoreline is a road, Long Beach is the backdrop, and it's making history for the first time ever. This is a totally different track, bears repeating, than round one. We utilized turns 9, 10, 11, and now here we are, purpose-built track. Tickets are going on sale Monday. So again, pre-sales already on sale, but for general public, Monday. So if you want to join us October 17th for our seating brackets, 18th for game day to find out who will be our 2025 champion, join us on the streets of Long Beach, LB2. That's right, in LBC. So we will see you there. Matt, I know you'll be down on the start line. We'll have Jacob here up in the box, myself, Jared Dienda, Laurent Nickel down on the ground, and we'll find out who will be our champion.
Yeah, that's the best time.
James Dean, defending champion, first-time, four-time champion. Frederick Osbo leads it. We'll see after this stop, but still 3 more rounds, including that of Long Beach. But overall, round 5, after this, we still have Monroe, Washington, just north of Seattle. We have Utah Motorsports Campus. We have that round, Long Beach, and we don't have Cody Buchanan. He had to call a competition timeout, worked on his car, did not get it ready. He is not able to pull to the line. So with that, Cole Richards will advance on with a bye run. So very unfortunate. So Cody Buchanan will watch from the side, but Cole Richards will take a bye run. He will advance on into the finals. Congratulations to him. So again, like I said, he was guaranteed a podium 3rd place, but now he's gonna better it. Can he go back to back? He won in New Jersey at E-Town. The Crazy 8 is where he won. His rowdy hat upside down. And right now the Black Sheep is entering the Black Parade, like My Chemical Romance out here, and he will jump to the line, and we will see him advance on with a bye run. Bummer for Buchanan.
Big time bummer. That was another one of those battles that I don't think we've seen them battle before, but it was going to be a heater, and it's just a bummer that previous damage from the other battle took him out. So let's see what Lorette can find out for us.
Yeah, Lorette, you're there with Cody.
Oh, Cody, I'm so sorry. What happened?
Well, I got yeeted about twice on the last battle, hitting the rear and the front. I love Jerry, so no hate at all. But he bent my rear, he bent my front. The steering rack was completely messed up. We got the rear pretty good, and we had to call the 5, but we still had to line it and all that stuff. And we were working on the front tie rod because that was bad. Once we pulled the tie rod, I mean, we saw the steering rack was way too messed up to even drive. So even if we had the tie rod, it was probably for the better that we didn't crash the car harder. But yeah, that sucks. It's okay.
So I'm sorry, Cody.
All right. I'm a little bummed, but it's okay.
We'll look forward to Salt Lake.
Absolutely, Salt Lake. We're coming for you.
Fingers crossed for you. Thank you so much.
What's that? All right. Yeah, Matt, what were you saying?
I think pending this result here, we're almost going to have the same podium as last round.
Oh, wow. So, hey, real quick, Reese, throwing down to you, what's it going to take to get the victory here? You know, we've seen some great driving. Here's Nate Chen, and he's in the burnout box. What's it going to take?
I mean, obviously we want these guys to clean it up. It seems like a common error that we were having, or a common problematic area was outside zone 2. And then going into outside zone 4, I think now that it's cooled down a lot more and there's a lot more grip, there's a little bit of inconsistencies, and the drivers are having a hard time of calculating how these cars are going to react once they come out of outside zone 3 into 4. So now that they've done the battle once, I think they can reevaluate what these grip levels are feeling like and what line they're going to take. And you know, as long as they're consistent, I think we're going to come out and definitely clean up their lines a little bit, and I think we're going to get a winner here clean and clear.
All right, so as we are talking us through, you know, we already have Cole Richards who's in the final, but we're backtracking all the way to grade 8 because this is the one more time battle between Chen and Alex Jagger. The winner to go against Brutzky in the 4, but Cole Richards, because Cody Buchanan is out, he is moving on into the finals. Here we go. Nate Chen, Alex Jagger. Nate Chen will be leading. Jagger given a little bit more room. Oh, and Jagger surges an attack there out of outside zone 1 into outside zone 2. Seeing that, you can see Chen very deep in outside zone 2. Jagger giving himself, again, a little bit of room here. Chen throwing some more angle at it into this last outside zone 4. That's what Reese was talking about. The temperature's dropping, the gripping and slipping, but you ain't tripping. Coming past that finish line. Good job there by Nate Chen and Alex Jagger.
That's exactly what I wanted to see Chen do, going in that outer zone from 3 to 4. That was very well executed. Let's check out this run up here. Jagger giving a whisper of a wish more room here as they get into outer zone 1. Chen could have been a little deeper there, as you see a little backfire from that V8 powered vehicle of Nate Chen as Jagger falls back into outer zone 2. Doesn't quite reel him back in. Chen doing a great job of carrying the momentum through, pouring on the tire smoke, and the angle he's pouring into outer zone 4 was just fantastic as Jagger kind of struggled to keep up there in that fast transition. That's what we wanted to see, and that's hard to mimic. And if Chen can do that in his chase, that's going to be a real treat for him to kind of put a cherry on top of this battle for Nate Chen as we look at Jagger just kind of hesitating in that chase position in the last third of that battle as they run out outer zone 4. So lots to unpack there, Jared, but I think Alex Jagger knows what to do, and I would tell him we need to go ham sandwich on this one. If he's good, there's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Ham sandwich?
Maybe even banana sandwich.
Banana sandwich? What about ham banana sandwich?
Nope, that's too much. Too many sandwiches.
Too much. All right, here we go. It's oh so sweet and oh so great. Here we go. Alex Jagger into that first outside zone. Nate Chen is right there, allows him to transition into outside zone 2. Jagger right there. You can see Chen trying to nose in. The headlights are on the prize now into that third outside zone. Transition into the final one. Jagger is using all the course, and Nate Chen right there. Great battle. This is a finals style battle. Clinical. Kept it off of each other. They didn't rub elbows. They didn't bump fenders. Really great run. And look at that. Pretty Ricky Hoffman, Matt Bystrack there watching on and cheering on.
Yeah, they're very commendable run by both parties here. Jagger did exactly what he needed to do. He was a little deeper in outer zone 1, but Chen was right there with him, timing that transition beautifully, staying in that pocket. Jagger also doing a great job in outer zone 2 as he wheels that thing into outer zone 3. Chen pouring on the pressure here. I was waiting for a little more snappier transition, but he does do a great job of mimicking it in outer zone 4. Getting more proximity than Jagger had in that chase position through the last third of that course as they finish it out here. So I feel like Chen has a little bit of advantage here over Jagger. Jagger, you know, he wasn't no slouch in this one more time battle, but let's see what the judges have to say.
And the judges looking on, doing that from their ivory tower, judging, watching. Look at the baby, look at the baby. Here we go, look at it again, overhead view, BC Racing.
Yeah, we can see the similarities here. Chen just not getting as deep as Jagger there, but you can see the hesitation in the transition from Jagger versus Chen going into outer zone 2, and Chen pulling away from Jagger in contrast on the right side screen, where Chen was just glued to that right rear door, or right rear tire of Jagger going through the rest of the course there. So I really think you can kind of see the difference there between the drivers and who was dominating.
All right, there's Pretty Ricky. Oh, I can't even look at him. There on the right, Bystrack.
Oh,
what's that? What did you?
They almost did the Coldplay thing.
All right, so taking a look at the numbers there, Jagger, J-A-A-G-E-R. It looks like the fans online are saying that Chen, percentage-wise, fans are saying that Chen gets the win. We'll see if they are correct. Slide him left for Nate Chen. Another one more time? Nope. Nate Chen gets the victory. So narrowly, again, gets the victory. Chen moves on. Jagger, a good, fierce battle, but I gotta say that Chen just had that proximity down just a little better. Again, Alex, definitely hold your head high. A fierce competitor, but Chen, like you said, could this duplicate what we saw in New Jersey?
People get to redeem themselves. Now we have.
It will.
Yes.
It's 100% the same.
Depending on
the
final,
but I'm saying the same 3. What order?
Right.
Because in Jersey it was Cole, Nate, Brutzky. So if it's the St. Richard's, Chen, I mean, this is the same podium.
The podium's locked, but yeah,
oh man, the podium is locked, but what order are they gonna go in? Cole Richards taking a bye run. So congratulations to him, goes back to back. And Brutzky currently is leading in the championship, or actually, no, yeah, so currently he is leading, but Cole will now tie Brutzky in points because he has, I think, 100 points now. So with Cole taking this run, he will soon 10 more points. So he's up to, I believe, 100.
Yeah, so
if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, you are correct.
Okay, and then so, you know, pending on who wins between Nate and Brutzky, Cole could assume they would be tied. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so if Richards wins the final, he'll be able to have a 10-point advantage in the championship. So we can see Nate Chen and his crew getting that, talking to previous battle, Alex Jagger. You can just see the weather out here, the sweat of Alex Jagger. Yeah, so currently live standings, Cole Richards and Dmitry Brutzky leading the pack there at 100 points. Cody Buchanan jumping up live to 80. Nate Chen still has a chance there to better that 80. And Corey Talaska reeling out number 5.
Okay, and there it is, Nate Chen in the cockpit. Nate Chen just, that's exactly where he needs to be. Stay focused on it. All right, Lorette Nickel down there in the pits. Lorette, here we go.
Here we go, getting a quick word with Nate Chen. Man, that was a scrappy battle, Nate.
I love battling Alex. You know, 2 East Coast Club Loose E-Town Gambler homies. Last time I battled him was like 5 years ago, and I lost, so it's good to get a win in there. And yeah, just so close. Like after the first one, and honestly after the second one, I would not have been surprised if it was one more time. So yeah, it's so much fun when you get to battle. You know, you travel all the way from the East Coast all the way to St. Louis to battle the same guy, but it was a great time. So this is what, you know, Alex just mentioned. It's like, hey, this is what I come to Formula Drift for, and like I have to say the same. I think competition just pushes us to drive the best to our abilities, and you know, it was so much fun getting to rip against him.
So happy for you, having so much fun, and I think everyone can see that, guys.
Thank you so much, Lorette Nickel, and you could see that Nate Chen is talking about how much fun he has with Jagger, and like we said, and there is one stop left of our Link Engine Management ProSpec Championship. Who's going to win tonight? We could see Talaska won in Atlanta, Cole Richards in Jersey. Cole is in the finals. Will he go back to back? But Utah, after this, August 28th through the 30th, the final round of the ProSpec Championship, and that will be round 7 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship.
Yeah, you always talk about the weight of these ProSpec rounds, and you can see like Talaska was coming out strong, and now he's not even in the top 5, unfortunately. He's been in the top 16, and now Buchanan has jumped because of his performance last couple rounds. So just an attest to just how much these rounds matter.
Yep. So 2 more battles essentially left. So let's get ready to send it when we come back here in St. Louis. Right now, the fans are alive. The Type S finals are here. Frederick Osbo, our current points leader, is going against Adam LZ. Who's going to get the win? Let's send it! Adam LZ initiates to the outside zone. He drags bumper, sparks go flying. Freddie makes a mistake. He goes into the inside. Could Adam LZ get the victory? Adam LZ, great recovery on that first run, and now a dynamic lead run. Could this be a win for Adam LZ? And now your winner here, round 4, the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Back on the box once again, Adam LZ gets the win. And now he betters his 3rd place finish. He got the win a few years ago, and here he is back on top, ripping his Drift HQ BMW. Make some noise for the 2-lettered last name, Mr. Adam LZ!
I
I grew up in the Northeast. This feels like my home away from home. So to have my friends here, my sister, my nieces, my nephews, all you guys cheering, seeing the stands lit up, like I wanted to put on a show and drive as hard as I could, and that's what I did.
Thank you, Adam LZ. Your winner, Fletcher Osborne in second, James Dean in third.
E-Town, holy cow, Mother Nature showed up and so did the fans. Probably the largest podium and trophy ceremony we've ever seen. Adam LZ, unbelievable, but tell you what, the fans, the cars, the vibe, everything, man, so excited. We sent it here at E-Town. We'll see you in St. Louis.
Every build tells a story. My street Supra needs to be smooth, reliable, and efficient. And when I need my competition Supra to perform, I rely on the best. Whether I'm running the canyons or managing my team, performance and efficiency can't be sacrificed. 2 builds, only 1 oil I trust. Eneos, the original JDM motor oil.
Oh, a hush falls over the crowd. The burnout box goes silent. We have 2 more battles essentially left. One in the final 4, and that is Brutzky and the most recent winner, Nate Chen, taking out Alex Jagger. And Cole Richards waits in the wings to see if he can repeat and go back to back. These are the same 3 podium finishers we saw in New Jersey. And right now, Nate Chen's front right corner is off. That is not what you want to see. So are we going to see another driver retire?
I hope not.
Because right now we need to see Chen on the line. How much of a buffer are we allowing Chen to pull up to the line?
There's a vice over there. You need a vice?
About 12 and a half minutes, Jared.
12 and a half?
Yeah. So we usually, like if we get to the end of the brackets here, and something like happens, we usually give them a 7.5 minute or the length of 2 battles. But let's get Lorette
yeah, she's
give us some insight.
She's down there in the hurt locker. Lorette, what have we heard?
Well, what I'm hearing is that it's a tie rod, and Nate, I just wanted to check in to confirm that. What is happening here on the right side of the car?
Yeah, so Alex and I actually made contact at the last turn on my chase run and his lead, and so I think front wheel hit probably his back, and so I'm sure it threw the steering off a little bit. But yeah, so it's one of those things. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. From my understanding, we should have a free 5 because it was contact from the battle that caused this, and then we should be able to call our competition timeout, but maybe I don't have the correct interpretation of the rules, but I'm sure Kevin will be able to correct me in here in a minute. So.
We'll check in with Kevin, and as I'm halfway in your car, Nate, it is so hot in here. Do you have a temperature gauge in the car?
I don't, but it is a sauna in here. So you know what? I've been spending a lot of time in my pool lately, and it kind of feels like that right now. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's pretty hot, and I only have to hold on for a little bit longer. You know what I mean? So it's brutal though. Even though sun's down, like St. Louis is notorious for just being probably the hottest event of the year for sure.
Absolutely, and as I stick my hand in there, honestly, guys, it feels like it's about 100 degrees plus in Nate's car, and it doesn't look like he has a cool suit. Kevin Wells is down here, and as you can probably hear in the background, you hear 4 minutes, so the clock is running. We're now at 3:58.
All right, Nate Chen, the clock is ticking.
Yeah, let's take another look at this. Yeah. Granted, it was, I believe this was the first half of the battle, or second half, so to Nate's question whether you get a free 5, it's a moot point because the runs were complete with contact, so not sure that contact was made there. Maybe it was the berm, the transition into the bank, but either way, I'm sure his crew will get that tie rod in. Hopefully it's not nothing serious and they don't have to deal with any strip nuts and bolts.
Okay, you can see all hands on deck. Even can see Daigo Saito camp working on his vehicle. Unfortunately, Daigo Saito again got turned around at the border and sent back to Japan. Unfortunately, had the proper visa of what he thought, but said no and turn right back around. Tomorrow, remember, we got pro. We got round 5 of the Pro Championship. So join us at 3:15 local time, and then this is Central time. So round of 32, 3:15 Central, round of 16. Then the United States Air Force opening ceremony is going down at 7:45. So round 5 of the Pro Championship. Frederick Oswald leads the pack. James Dean in second. Adam LZ sitting in third at the halfway point of the FD Championship. More than halfway, given that we have the seating brackets. And this is definitely not a layup. That hoop is sitting in the way. 2-minute clock, 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning, and man, that's I'm really pulling for him because we need to. It's just the worst way between Cannonball and Chen now in the mix here. Hopefully not having to forfeit.
Yeah, now the thrashing is really on.
Oh,
we got
wheels back on, dude.
Absolutely magic, man. Yeah, you start turning that clock up, and it looks like, no problem for Chen. Nate Chen creates the tension.
It's a good news day.
Okay, so Nate Chen, Dmitry Brutzky, the winner to go against Cole Richards in the final. Some great chat and banter going on. Thanks to the fans for tuning in and watching. And Nate just sweating in the sauna that is his cockpit right now. And there it is, 1 minute left, but we saw that wheel on.
Yeah,
but not hearing the car fired up. They check.
They're going to check the toe quick. They should have enough time on the board. They got the jack on standby to just release that. Get it close enough, guys. And
they're looking pretty calm over there, though.
Yep. I'm sure Nate's on the brake now, so they can torque the lug nuts, get that thing secured, so we can party.
All right, so there it is, 35 seconds. Yeah, what's going on here? Nate Chen building anticipation here. Nate Chen running the clock. What? I mean,
Jack stands out. Let's
Jack
go.
Stands out. Drop that thing. What are you?
Get out of there, guy.
You got to be on the ground. Oh, 10 seconds. There we go. Yeah. Nate Chen could cut the tension with a knife. Nate Chen holds the knife.
Yeah, way to create drama.
Yeah, save the drama for your mama. All right, so there it is. Chen and his camp put the car together, back at it like a track addict. And we're talking about Chen and Brutzky going into the burnout box, the double BOB. Burnouts over Baghdad. And coming now into, you can see Brutzky already waiting, fired up. And the battle will commence. Making their way into the big burnout box just in the center of the track. Chen, Brutzky, what do you anticipate looking at what we saw earlier?
Honestly, I feel like Chen was carrying a little more momentum around the course here, and I think Brutzky's going to have to make a big adjustment to overcome that. So I'm pulling for Chen on this one, I feel.
Yeah, I think just going off the previous battles, Chen was a little more clinical. Brutzky left a little window of opportunity in his previous battles. And, you know, taking a look between Chen and Cole Richards, they were 1 and 2 in Jersey. So how many clutch kicks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? Well, Nate, I think, knows the answer, and that's clutch kicking his way into the finals. We will see. So there is the current standings. Again, with Cole Richards going to the finals, he ties Brutzky. So like I said, Cole Richards would love to see Nate Chen in the finals and then take him out, and he would, you know, if Cole Richards won, he would assume the lead over Dmitry Brutzky. But we will find out. A lot of variables here. Actually, there's only 3. Right? So there's only 3. But this is the same podium, the same 3 players, the same 3 finishers. But what order are they going to finish? Let's set it here in the final 4. It's Nate Chen out front, Brutzky in the chase position. Nate Chen Faint entry into that first outside zone. Brutzky tucks in. Oh no! He goes off course. Brutzky way off course in that BMW. Chen does need to complete the entirety of this run. He fills that outside zone 3. Chen needs to hold on. Ooh, a little lift of that back bumper. The little duckbill says quack, but he keeps on keeping on. And Nate Chen, but Brutzky finds himself in the grass. And that is a major deficit for the multiple champion of PROSPEC, and that's Brutzky.
That's going to shake things up here in the championship standings, but let's reel it back here and see what happened. Nate Chen, as expected, coming out of there like a rocket ship, and Brutzky just trying to keep up. I think a little contact there and takes himself out. So I'm guessing after that contact, that front wheel just decided to throw him off course there as Nate Chen continues on. We can kind of see the contact, no impeding in the initiation, but you can see Brutzky here being a little aggressive. You can see the upset of the car there, contact, the wing lifting, taking out the clip, doing some landscaping. Unfortunate turn events, I did not see, that was not on my bingo card.
No, I mean, announcer's curse. You were like, hey man, Chen's gonna put it down, and he did just that. So Brutzky's gonna have some words with you after this.
Hopefully, okay.
No, and I agree with you. You know, I do support what you were saying, because the way Chen was driving earlier, all signs are saying that he's just on it. He's just definitely on it right now.
He's on a heater, and you never leave when you're on a heater.
Nope. All right, so Brutzky out front. He needs to put down a good run, and we don't want to see an inactive chase from Nate Chen, but if he puts down, you know, a C is passing, right? He's just got to navigate the course properly, but sometimes you just make these kind of simple mistakes in your head. There's Jerry Yang of the JYR camp. Looks like he's getting some help there from definitely a proven team between Hiroya Manoa and, again, Daigo Saito. So Shinji Manoa, we will be seeing him rip around Daigo's car tomorrow and just put on a demo. FD Japan champion and father of the youngest ever to win in formative competition, Hiroya Manoa. So taking a look at that replay, you could see, looks like Brutzky goes in and he loses it, but Chen continued on. So from that angle, looked like
almost independent, would you say?
I don't know, but
I thought the car looked upset.
Regardless, Chen, it didn't affect him too much. So it's like
run what you brung, or what are we doing? Okay.
Yeah. All right, pulling up to the line, Brutzky.
Let's do this dance.
And Chen staggering the start. Brutzky pulls to the line. Okay, Brutzky was? Okay, so Brutzky pulls the line. Looks like Chen tries to pace it. Brutzky paces it, and Chen chases him down. Like I said, he needs to do just enough. Brutzky, oh man, that, yeah, oh my goodness. And I'll tell you what, I definitely want to run this back.
What?
Because I saw some brake lights in places that were very unique.
Okay, that's a good, one way to put it, Jared.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's rewind the tape here and see what happened. All right, Air Force replay. Let's see. Brutzky flicks it in. Nate Chen staying right there with him as we go through outer zone 2. Look at that, just the front wheels locked right up throughout the entire transition, and Nate Chen kind of struggles to keep it lit. How the judges are going to ascertain that is up to them, but it's there's definitely not an incomplete in the Chen camp, but that was kind of odd.
Flirting. It was flirting. So let's backtrack here, because before we started this run, yeah, I feel like both pedals are down in the cockpit.
Oh yeah, he's taking a screenshot full.
Yeah, Brutzky is
so
Brutzky out front. first of all, before we started this battle, it seemed like there was some pausing, some delays, and I believe that Brutzky was requesting either a replay, and that's why we're kind of looking at it, seeing what's going on. And I don't think he got exactly what he wanted, so this might be maybe a bit of a protest here, you know, on track. But Chen, like you said, wasn't incomplete in that chase position. It was lackluster, but interesting change of pace of the vehicle.
Yeah, there was definitely a difference in momentum from the Brutzky camp. I'll give you that much. Not on par as what we've seen all weekend.
Yeah, I think we have a moment in between. So Nate Chen gets the win, is going to the finals. So again, it is the same as Jersey 1 and 2 in the finals, but will it be the same order? Cole Richards winning in Jersey, Chen getting second, or will it be Chen getting his first ever FD win? Reese Marin, down to you. Chen got the victory. The finals are set, Richards and Chen. But elaborate on what went down there. It got a little wonky. Brutzky goes off. Seemed like a protest, both on and on the grid and on the track.
Outside zone 1 goes into outside zone 2. You can just see going in there, there's this huge...
Yeah, Reese, just go ahead and restart if you could.
Yeah, so we can go in here. You can see Brutzky gets into outside zone 1 here, and then we don't understand what's going on here. You can just see that he slows down substantially going into outside zone 2, just like a slow roll that's going in there. This is not what he was doing before. Like we've talked about this before. We don't want to see any slowdown like that, but for us, we definitely saw that there was just, I don't know, some tomfoolery or what was going on there, but we're just not going to let that ride. Like, definitely start slowing down. We just don't approve of that, so Nate's going to get the win there. He did a really good job in the lead. Just Brutzky did something in outside zone 2. All the judges agreed that we did not like that at all. We want things to be clean, and we just don't think that was. So maybe he can reflect on that, and we'll see him in Utah.
Yeah, did it seem just like a breaking kind of, for lack of a better term, protest maybe?
I don't know what it was, but it's classic Brutzky, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, so Brutzky gets the loss. Nate Chen advances on. So there it is. So you can see, yeah, look at, I mean, that is a bright red. That is crimson.
Well, that is the initiation.
Over. Yeah. Yeah, and you're going to have obviously some decel there.
Yeah.
But
just look at the decel lights. They're not, like, comparison to Chen's, they're teetering on, like, not being accelerating and decelling, and there's a left foot brake apparently through. That's not where we're supposed to be decelling at all.
Yeah, so it just got a little bit wonky, and, you know, rightfully so. There was contact in the chase. You know, Brutzky goes off course. So very unfortunate for Brutzky going off. Would love to see a great battle there. Just got a little interesting there. So Nate Chen in his cockpit once again. Competition timeout. Not, you know, had that one right down to the second, pulling away to the line, and now Nate Chen gets it done in the Final Four, and he's going to the finals. Once again, this is a repeat of New Jersey. It was Chen and Richards in the final. Brutzky will get third place, so just outside. So right now, consider this, that now Chen has jumped up to 90 points, I believe it is, if I can recall. Then Brutzky and Richards are tied with 100. So if Richards wins again, he will then assume the overall drivers' championship lead going into Utah. If Chen gets the victory, Brutzky and Richards will be tied, and I believe that it might even be a
three-way tie
between them. So yeah, there's Chen. So this is standing. So yeah, if Chen wins, it'll be a three-way tie. If
Richards
wins, excuse me, he jumps up to 110. Chen will slide up, and it'll be a tie for second between Brutzky and Chen. Fun.
That's the heaters we're looking for. That's going to make Utah real exciting.
Fresh tires, more fuel, more tension here at round 3 of the Link Engine Management ProSpec Championship. Only one battle left to decide who will be the winner. Under the lights, we deem this the crossroads as we are here at Worldwide Technology Raceway Park. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, Richards versus Chen in the finals.
ECU, let's get it.
We got the spiciest K-Series built.
Supercharged Ford Eliminator engine.
Oh, good old SR20 Blink Monsoon is so rowdy.
Naturally aspirated, 1,000 horsepower, LS-based engine. And then we're going to add nitrous on top of it. Running an S54 controlled by Link ECU. Link direct injection EcoBoost Fox body.
I actually put an FA24 in it. B58, E46, Link ECU.
No matter what engine you have, it's stock K24 or it's a 1,000 wheel 2J. Link ECU all day.
These are my race treads for going the distance.
Racetreads.com. Tires for every adventure.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
No. Here we go, and the finals are here. Richards and Chen, the crossroads are upon us. Round 3 of the Link Engine Management ProSpec Championship. Here it is. They have fought from yesterday to today. These guys were in the top 20, and now here they are going into, again, Utah, the final round. So they have some time to kind of dwell and think about what can go wrong, what could go right in Utah. But right now, Cole Richards, Nate Chen, should be some great driving. Cole Richards lurking out of the shadows. Nate Chen, again, two very talented drivers, soft-spoken, have progressed their driving over the last few years. And Cole Richards, you know, he built this car. He was just quietly watching, just a fan, and now he has risen, and there is a Cole Richards camp watching on in the pits, cheering him on. Let's see what we could see between Richards and Chen. Is it going to be a repeat of Jersey, the same order? It was Richards who got the win. Let's lick the stamp and send it. Here we go. Cole Richards, Nate Chen, the finals of round 3 and the ProSpec Championship. Richards blazing into that first outside. Oh no! Oh boy! Cole Richards shoots over, salvages the car. Chen does not need to complete that run. He was absolutely flying into the outside zone.
This car's moving. Yeah, that thing just dug so hard.
It just grabbed and ripped him around. That could have been way worse.
Looks like it might potentially debeat it here too, which is even more unfortunate.
Oh, this is not the way you want to get the victory. And it looked independent. It didn't look like Chen hit him and forced him into the dirt. So here's the scenario. If he flies in, hits the dirt, debeated, he is done. He goes off course. The tire leaves the chat room, and it looks like, and we are getting word that yes, he has debeated. So that would mean that Cole Richards, the winner of Jersey, takes himself out after flying into that outside zone 1. The dirt claps back, rips the tire off, he goes off course, and that would mean he would have to retire, and Nate Chen would get the victory. Again, analyzing all this, that back right corner, so unfortunate, Matt.
Man, he was like a you-know-what on a you-know-where.
Yeah.
And it was just, that's what he had to do, but he just needed to dial back another 5%. And I think he pulled a Cameron Sorensen from yesterday, and that's exactly what happened to him. Just too much sauce coming out of that initiation. Chen barely, I mean, he barely had a fighting chance. He's lucky he evaded any more damage there, and luckily Richards is okay. He's been able to drive his car off for the most part, but that's truly unfortunate that we couldn't get a second half of the battle, even despite him going off course with an incomplete there, but also with the DB, that's going to forfeit his second run. And
just so anticlimactic.
Yeah, we're like just such buildup. We're gaining so much of our own momentum in the show here, whittling down these guys, and now Chen, he wanted redemption, but not this way.
No, so here it is again, taking a look at our United States Air Force instant replay. That back right corner taps the brakes, goes in outside zone 1. Chen is back there, no contact. Back right just lifts that front left. That could have been so much worse for his vehicle, so I'm glad he's okay, because now the scenario points-wise, the point scenario, we talked about it right before we went into this battle. Now we have a 3-way tie for first place going into the final round of the PROSPEC Championship. This is Nate Chen's victory lap. He's getting his first ever win in a Formula Drift event. This is not the way you want to do it, but you gotta take it.
Oh yeah.
Sorry to Cole Richards, but guess what? Nate Chen gets his first ever FD win. This is a bye run. Congratulations to Nate Chen. Cole Richards will be second. So again, just not the big battle that we were looking for in the finals, but it happens that way. We've seen this before. It's unfortunate, but it happens. You need to cross that finish line metaphorically and literally to get that win. And unfortunately, Cole Richards, the dirt bought back, and I'm talking about biting back, but that car could have whipped and hit that tire wall, and he saved it. So I'm glad the car's okay, because it's going to come down to now high elevation drifting at Utah Motorsports campus. Look at that. As the car dipped down, the wheel dug in and it whipped it around. Like I said, he could have easily ended up in that tire wall.
Yeah, that was a lot to unpack here. That's
why such the exhale?
Well, it's just, we had such, like I said, we had such momentum here, and to end that way is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Congrats to Nate Chen on his first ever first place podium in Formula Drift.
Yep.
And like you already mentioned, the 3-way ties. That ever happened in any standings? Do you remember?
No.
So
no, I know 2 down to the, like, it's been 2-way tie. That's for sure. But a 3-way tie, and I think that is a testimonial to the points and how it all plays out. And basically let's imagine they, these guys are locked in for the top 20, right, going to Utah. So basically, say this scenario happens again, it's essentially like who wins the event.
Yeah.
So say these guys all make it to the 4. Say who, because now here Nate Chen is number 1 going into Utah, and here it is. Got to talk about it. Nate Chen, NCR, of course, GT radials on the corners, the spec tire of the PROSPEC Championship, Link engine management, and Nate Chen gets his first ever Formula Drift win. Congratulations, man. And some celebratory donuts. Congratulations, Nate Chen, well deserved. After second place in Jersey, he gets the win. And Nate Chen plays spoiler to Cole Richards, or the dirt plays spoiler. Dirt McGirt grabs the wheel of Cole Richards and sends him into a tailspin, and Nate Chen gets the victory, and Dmitry Brutzky will get third. We'll bring him out there on right in front of the stands, and remember, wash, rinse, repeat, talking about the track, because tomorrow is round 5 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship.
Yeah, Jared, I'll be heading down to the start for that tomorrow, but let's give it up to our staff here. Ricky doing always a great job, and the staff here at Worldwide Technology Center.
Shout out your boys. You got Max, you got the Fridge, you got Ricky.
Trey, we even had Andy Luck's little girl down there helping us out today. So
Mara.
Yep.
Mara Luck. So thank you to our FD staff, as well as thank you to our Worldwide Technology Raceway staff. And you could see,
is Richards going to come back out? Oh, yep. He's hanging out by OZ2 there, so he should be up here shortly. And we all know the results, but let's give him.
Are we climbing fences, Nate?
Don't break your heel like Denofa.
Yeah,
don't do it.
Climbed and jumped. There it is. Nate Chen number one, numero uno. That's right, Nate Chen getting the victory. Again, congratulations to him. Brutzky being such a gentleman, getting his wife out of the car. Congratulations. There is Brutzky. Hugs all around. And yep, Richards is on the way. We can see him.
He's got a flat tire, so it's going to be a little bit.
Oh, is he? He's not driving.
He's slow rolling.
Oh, he's rolling his way over there. All right. There's Nate and Brutzky having a convo. Little frustration. I was listening in to what Dimitri was saying, but all right, so Lorette, down to you. Nate Chen makes history, his first ever win after a second place in Jersey. Down to you, Lorette.
Nate Chen, you have been working so hard for this moment years, and you carried so much momentum from last round to here. You have finally done it. Nate Chen, you are a Formula Drift ProSpec winner.
Oh my gosh.
In this moment, what are you feeling? What are you considering in all of the things?
It feels good to get out of the car. But no, I mean, honestly, we've been like battered and bruised, and it reminds me of when I was spotting for Kazuya and he got his first win right here. So it feels super cool. I see a lot of parallels to that, and I'm just really thankful for my team and Jerry for staying. They were grinding. We almost didn't make it on our 5-minute call to get the tie rod fixed. And I just drove the best I could. It definitely was a little messed up, but you know, huge shout out to Moroso and Fuel Lab, home win for them, and you know, all the other sponsors. It's just really great to bring one to the top of the box for the first time.
Incredible. And I think one of the words that I used tonight, and I'm going to use it again, was scrappy. It was a scrappy night for you, and you really had to fight and battle for this.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, contact with Alex and then Dimitri's racing incident, you know, it was a really tough battle all throughout. And, you know, hats off to Cole and Dimitri for two podiums in a row with the same guys. Cole, I hope you're all right. I don't know what happened. It was a wild ride for sure. But yeah, again, really just thankful for the fans out here. Thanks for sticking around. I really appreciate you. And St. Louis for having us. So can't wait to get into Utah and, you know, try to lock in a top 3 spot for the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. And what do you do to reset for Salt Lake City?
You know, I think it's just some time on the sim and, you know, just relaxing a little bit. And again, just keeping this attitude that you've all talked about. And I don't know. Honestly, I had the momentum stuff going from last round to this round. You know, secret is I didn't really believe any of it the entire time. It was a great story, but it feels amazing to actually cap it off and pull it off. So I came in here with, you know, no expectations other than I just wanted to drive the best sim of my abilities, and I just wanted to focus run by run, and that's exactly what happened. So, yeah, I mean, crazy day.
Fantastic. And officially, as we head into Salt Lake, you, Dimitri, and Cole Richards are all tied 100 points apiece, tied leading that championship. So some incredible things coming for Salt Lake. Our next round, can't wait for it. Again, ladies and gentlemen, your winner here in St. Louis, Nate Chen.
Thank you so much, Lorette Nichols. Some great insight, and Nate Chen getting his first ever win. And again, congratulations to Nate Chen. Back-to-back podiums, and as Lorette said, it is a 3-way tie. 100 points for Nate Chen, Cole Richards, Dimitri Brutzky. It's all going to unfold in Utah. Matt, thank you so much. We'll see you down on the start line tomorrow for round 5 of the Pro Championship. We'll see you back up here in the box at Utah, man.
You betcha. It's such an awesome course there, but I'm more excited to see how this championship unfolds. It's going to be a real treat.
The plot thickens. Thank you so much, Matt Sopa. Thank you to Lorette Nichols, and thank you to the fans. We'll see you tomorrow. Check your local listings, or again, we'll see you back here. This is a wrap on round 3 of the Link Engine Management PROSPEC Championship. On behalf of Lorette Nickel and Matt Soap, I'm Jared Deanda. We'll see you tomorrow for round 5 of the Pro Championship here at Worldwide Technology Raceway Park, just across the Mississippi River here in St. Louis. See you at the Crossroads.